Yuppie, everybody, good evening. How's everyone doing? Hold on. Desktop audio on. Okay. The game's order should be on now. Alright. Hola, Yuppie, everybody. Good evening. Happy Umineko Thursday. It's finally time. It's finally time, guys. We're going to be beginning Umineko episode 8 tonight. The final episode. I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. I am here. Made myself some hot chocolate. I'm holding the a Beato brush from Pico Puyo. I'm holding my breath. And God, I'm kinda not ready. When I posted the thumbnail tonight, mentioning how I will start reading Umineko episode 8 tonight, there was kind of this profound sadness that set in me, like in the thought of, I don't want Umineko to end. I don't want this to end yet. I'm not ready. But oh well. It is how it is. We need to finish it someday. We can't stay stuck in the past. And so quick recap before I jump in. Since it's been quite a while since I read episode 7. I think it was way back in May, June. Yeah, so it's been quite a few months since. Alright, so episode 7. We went into the miracle fragment, met Leon and Willard, and we got to see a significant portion of Beato's backstory, including the backstory of Sayo Yasuda and how she became Beato. And in the finale, in the last stream, we got shown we got to look inside the cat box. We saw the cold hard truth. Ange got super bullied. Leon's fate is unknown, as is Willard's. And well, Burn and Lambda have said that this next game is going to be merciless. But Batter has promised us and a tiny Ange that this next game board and the final one that we'll see is one that is going to be just for Ange. So, okay, just to throw out my thoughts for episode 7 before we begin. So it was a very heartbreaking chapter for me, but also very heartwarming to see. We saw the backstory between Biche and Kinzo, how they met and fell in love and everything. I really like that flashback portion. I love Leon and Willard. God, please, they deserve to be happy and get married. And so my copium for the truth that we saw in episode 7 was that yes, I believe that's the truth, like the cold hard facts, but if there's a lesson we learned in the majority of Umineko, is first, without love it cannot be seen. That's the most important motto for all of Umineko. And Willard has also said that the heart of the culprit is always like the most important part. And I think we saw the truth, but without like the emotional aspect behind it. So it was just the facts without the emotions in thought. That's what I thought. But we'll see. We will see what this final game board will be like. And I am scared and I'm gonna stop stalling for time. And we're finally going to jump in. Alright, everybody. Are you ready? Do you have your teas, your snacks, your tissues, if you need them, or napkins? And all your tears? Are you hydrated to cry? If so, let's begin. Good morning. To think this is a goodbye. Ah, shit! I forgot to read. I'm sorry. We're gonna alt F4. We're gonna alt F4 because I want to read that final blurb. Wow, I squandered the intro so bad. Okay, hold up. Okay. Ahem, redo. You didn't see what I just did. Ahem. Episode 8, Twilight of the Golden Witch. Good morning. To think that this is goodbye brings me great sadness as well. Yes, so it does to me. I have prepared a farewell party for this night. There will be a game tournament as well, so I ask that you participate with vigor. Like Pepper, the difficulty comes in tiny yet spicy grains. Why not participate yourself now at the very end? What are you implying with that? What are you implying with that? I'm holding on to my Beate Brusch. This story is very obviously fictional and fantastic in nature, and it resembles to existing individuals. Yeah, we know. We know. We know. I know, and it still hurts. Alright, the cathedral. How's the game's volume? Okay, I want to keep track of the audio this time. Two silhouettes could be seen in the chapel. A big brother and a little sister. The big brother, who would never return from that day 12 years in the past. Oh god. And the little sister who waited alone, all alone 12 years in the future. However, the big brother knew everything, understood everything. And the little sister knew nothing, understood nothing. So no matter how much time has passed, the little sister remained as the girl she had been 12 years before. She remained a 6-year-old forever. Her sobs into his chest finally subsided. She quietly waited for his next words. After patting her head gently, the big brother fished around inside his shirt pocket. Then, he took that out. Oh god, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Pater took a large key attached to a necklace out of his pocket, then held it out to Ange. Oh, it's beautiful. It was large enough to cover his entire palm, and little Ange probably wouldn't even be able to wrap her hand all the way around it. The key glittered gold and had a beautiful, intricate design. Its weight alone made it clear that this key was something very important. Pater put the necklace around Ange's neck. Is this the key to the Golden Land? Oh, she's so small and tiny! Oh. I see. Of course, she didn't have a clue what Pater was saying, but she did realize that he was telling her to take good care of this key. So Ange nodded, at least in response to that part. In her hand, the key had felt heavy. However, now that it was around her neck, it felt as light as an ordinary necklace. How strange. She had been sure that her brother was about to sit down. After all, just a second ago, he said he'd tell her what happened on Rokkenjima that day. She expected him to tell her here. I'm not dealing well with seeing Ange small. You want to be there. So, he does understand after all. What happened on that island that day? Trying to answer that question was all I was capable of, so I wished for nothing more. But if I could, I'd want to go there. To that island on that day. To Rokkenjima on that day I couldn't go. To the Ushiromiya family mansion. To mom and dad. To all the cousins and relatives. And everyone else. I want to go back to that island on that day. So I remained the way I was on that day. My heart and soul stuck as a 6-year-old forever. I want to go home. She said that in episode 4. Oh. I'm trying to remember. So Ange, Byrne did bring Ange to the game board before. Although more on the meta plane, right? Not directly on the game board. So this is... it's probably a little different.
Ange 1986年の六軒島へ。
Oh my god.
会えるの？みんなに。
もちろん。
私、もう記憶もおぼろげで、みんなの顔、はっきりと思い出せないのに。
Oh my god.
すぐに思い出すさ。そして、エンジェにとっては12年ぶりの再会でも、俺たちにとってはしばらくぶりでしかないんだ。みんな歓迎する。
Yes.
12年の遠い未来からようやく帰ってきたエンジェを。
私はいつまでもそこにいられるの？
This way, I can be with everyone forever. This is the goal I'm supposed to reach.
エンジェ、よくお聞き。
Oh no. But Butler spoke in an admonishing tone, as though warning me that this was a dream that wouldn't be granted.
六軒島の親族会議は一泊で終わる。あの日は台風だったから船の都合で2泊だったけれどね。
それが過ぎたら私は島から帰らなくてはならないの？
Mm-hmm. You will. You will.
少し違う。それを決めるのもエンジェなんだ。
Hmm.
エンジェがそれを決める。
Will you decide to stay and hold on to the past, or are you going to move on? I suppose that's kind of the question Battler is asking for Ange to decide on. At least that's my first thought. I understand, of course. I don't exist on that island on that day. It's a miracle just to be invited there like this. Just the 2 days before the typhoon passes. Just getting those 2 days to myself is already the sort of miracle that will never come again. If I'm greedy enough to ask for more, that faint miracle might vanish. Even though I thought this, my young heart, which was still 6 years old, wasn't satisfied with such a short-lived miracle. Oh god, CC Cleaner, get out of here. I'm trying to read. Trying to get immersed here.
わかるよ。
いつまでもみんなと一緒にいる。家族で一緒にいる。
Hmm.
お兄ちゃんがもう帰らなくちゃって言っても、私は六軒島に残る。
Are you sure?
残るのが正しいとか、帰るのが正しいとか。
Hmm.
そういうのじゃないんだよ。エンジェ。
I see.
それでも、それを私が選ぶの？
そうだよ。
Because at the end of the day, it's her
そ
choice.
のための鍵が。そうなんだよ。
Oh, I see. Battler touched the glittering key that hung from Ange's neck.
私の ってるよ。
今は選ばなくていい。選ぶべき時はすぐに訪れるから。その時のエンジェの素直な心でその鍵をどう使うか。お兄ちゃんの言うことなんか何も聞かなくてもいい。エンジェのわがままなように答えを決めても構わない。でももしもエンジェがいい子でお兄ちゃんを信用できるなら。
信用できるなら？
お兄ちゃんの言うことは全て信じなさい。
すべて信じる。
それがエンジェにとって一番いい選択になるから。
I
お兄
see.
ちゃんの言葉に耳を傾け、そして全てを信じなさい。できるかい？
わかんない。
それでもいい。信じたいものだけを信じればいい。それもエンジが決めていいんだよ。
I see.
お兄ちゃんを信じないとこ
Oh.
の夢は覚めてしまうの？
そんなことはない。だから安心していいよ。
For some reason, Ange was suspicious of her brother and scared of him. Her wish was to remain on that island on that day, together with her family, forever. She was afraid that once she got her 2 miracles days, her brother might tell her to be satisfied with that and return to 12 years in the future, all alone. Oh,
さっきも言ったと思う。
oh god, I'm in so much pain already.
正しいとかそういうのはないんだよ。それをエンジェが決める。そしてそれは今すぐ決めなくていい。
Yeah.
そのどちらかの選択を誰も強要しない？
もちろん。
お兄ちゃんは私に未来へ帰れなんて言わない？
お兄ちゃんはエンジェに選んでほしい。それをエンジェが自発的に選んでくれることを望んでる。だから望んではいるがエンジェの選択は尊重したい。
I think what Batra wants from her is to move on.
私もさっき言った私の答えはもう決まっているよ。
俺もさっき言った。今はそれを選択する時じゃない。
Mm-hmm.
それはいつ？
その鍵がいずれ教えてくれるよ。
We have to be patient. The large gold key hung from Ange's neck. Her small hand held it tightly. Baby Ange. Hi, Umineko. How you doing? Happy Umineko Thursday. At that moment, she noticed a book lying on the chapel's altar. The book had a lock on it and was sealed, so that it could not be read without a key. Ange looked between the key hanging at her chest and the book on the altar.
あの本はこの鍵で開くの？
Look at her face! She's so cute! Will this key unlock that book?
あの本はダメだ。
Oh god. His sudden forceful response made Ange flinch. Batra, realizing he had scared Ange, softened his expression. It's the cat box, isn't it?
さあ行こう。1986年10月4日にエンジェ。
Batra held out his hand and Ange gripped it tightly. Then they started walking. A brilliant light lay beyond the chapel's door. I know I used this picture for the thumbnail because I've seen it in episode 7, I think. At least I'm pretty sure I've seen it. God. And yet it hits different when you see it again. A brilliant light lay beyond the chapel's door. That blinding light peeked in through the cracks around the door. The brother and sister began to walk through to the other side. Oh, look at them! God!
おかえりエンジェ。
Stop!
そしてこれで最後なんだ。このゲーム版もエンジェのために最後にもう一度だけ開く。
Oh my god. Ooh. I'm trying to keep it together, guys. Oh, opening time. Hi Venatrix, how you doing? It's opening time. What song we getting this time? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. God, I'm getting goosebumps. Holy shit. Ah! There him is. Oh. Oh god, I'm getting shivers. Woo! Holy shit. Shivers from top to bottom, guys. And my hairs on my arm are standing up stiff. Holy crap. And we are back on the... Holy shit, what a mood whiplash. Leon, one of the most goated VN protagonists, absolutely. So, Battler? My opinion of Battler has come such a long way since episode 1. I actually had a bit of distaste for Battler up until somewhere in episode 4. I mean, I didn't outright dislike him, but oh my god, I grilled on him a lot. So much so that I've had people be like, why are you so mean to Battler? And I'm like, because he's difficult to deal with. But god, he's grown so much on me. I love him, he's amazing. Ah. Oh, oops. Hold up. Okay, my keyboard wasn't working. This is such a mood whiplash. I was here in the beginning trying to hold back tears, and there was a time in the text in which my voice started to crack. But Battler is making me not cry. After all, Battler is incompetent, correct? Also, I'm very Beato biased, so obviously my mind was very like, everything Beato does is correct and is right and justified. Everything that comes out of Battler's mouth is bad, basically. I mean, not like that exactly, but you know. Once again, Captain Kawabata's ferry boat Turokenjima cut across the sea in perfect form. Yes. The tale of October 4th, 1986, always begins with Battler's screams. But this one time, one thing was different. There was another yell alongside Battler's. Battler was screaming. The other was... laughing? Battler, you're on a boat, calm down. God, look at him. No, look at the baby. I want her. Oh my god. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me right now. I'm gonna see Mania and Ange on the same screen. Not gonna be able to do it. alongside the big brother who was grasping at the handrail and screaming in a way no one that age should scream, was the little sister, also grasping the handrail and jumping about like it was a ride at an amusement park. George and the others just couldn't hold in their laughter at the difference. Pater is like, I'm fighting for my life, and you guys are laughing? Am I a joke to you? Yes. Yes, you are, Pater.
6年を経てもバトラ君は本当に賑やかだね。
エンジェもマリアも今年はひときわ賑やかだぜ。
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat my microphone.
いとこ5人が全員揃うのってひょっとしてこれが初めて？
Apparently.
あれ、そうかな。なるほどね。
Well, ideally it would be the 6 cousins, but we only get that 1 in a billionth.
今年はこれまでになく最高に賑やかってわけだ。
ジョージの兄貴、これ早すぎねえか。頼むよ、船の人に言ってスピードを下げてもらってくれ。
And it's like, sure, we're going on a regular speed. Yes.
こんなので早すぎなんてバトラ情けない。バトラ情けない。
Oh! Imagine getting grilled by Maria. Imagine that. We got a bot. Be gone.
エンジェ、もっと早いのがいい。もっともっと。
Oh no no no.
これ以上早くなったらお兄ちゃん船から落ちちゃうぞ。
Then go inside.
いいのか、落ちて。落ちる。
He really is fighting for his life. Oh, Battler never changed. I mean, do have your character development, but never change.
多数決の結果、バトラ君の速度を下げるという提案は
却下みてえだぜ。
Well, time to speed up faster. Woo! Do you have Seribot? They're pretty good at taking out the spam bots. I do have Seribot, but I might have to update it.
ほらほら、お兄ちゃん落ちちゃうよ。落ちちゃうよ。
But even when I had Seribot at a very updated time, I do know some bots can still come through. So I also had Commander Root, but it might be a good time to update Commander Root as well to catch some of the other bots that I may have missed with Seribot. It's been a while since I did that, so actually something that I should keep in mind for later.
怖がりのバトラはくすぐりの刑だ。
Oh my god! Yes, tickle attack! Attack! Yes! Attack!
よせやめろ、マリア。
All hands on deck!
エンジェもやめろ。ラメ
And there he goes, salute! I can't salute with my model at the moment, but there him goes! 07!
よかった。エンジェの体調心配だったんだけど。
一人だけ留守番じゃ気の毒だしね。
Ah, Kirie!
無理にでも連れてきてよか
Kirie! You were one of my favorites!
直前に大きく体調を崩したって聞いてたけれど。
Man, I'm still on copium about what she said in episode 7. I'm like, okay, maybe she did feel a way, she did feel the things she said, especially when Rudolph died. But a part of me wants to believe she does love Ange still because of that one dialogue that she had with Rosa in episode 2. And I'm like, come on, please, Kirie, don't do me like this.
それが今朝になったらケロリよ。
But I'm still like reeling from it. I'm like, oh my
子
god.
供って本当にすごいわ。
It's hit different.
緊張が体調に出るタイプなんやろな。そういうのはいざ当日を迎えるとケロッと治ることもあるもんや。
Then there's also the people who don't get sick when they're stressed, and after the stress goes, they get sick immediately. I'm that type.
いとこ5人ではしゃぐのが
楽しくて楽しくて仕方ないんでしょうね。
Which is why it was super common that I would stay at least 1-2 weeks sick on holidays. So if we had a 1 or 2 week holiday, chances are I spent the entire holiday sick, which sucks.
子供たちが楽しそうにしているのを見ているとこっちまで元気になってきますね。
As in when I was in school and still in college, I mean. Masao, my beloved. Oh, she is a queen. The adults smiled as they watched the children play around. Ange, who had gotten very sick and who everyone had thought would be absent, made a miraculous recovery. Thanks in part to her strong desire to join in, she had to come along to the family conference with the others. And so, for the first time ever, all 5 cousins were gathered together. It should have been all 6 cousins. October 4th, 986 became a day like no other. Getting sick on a holiday is like getting scammed. For real! Man, I hated it. Oh, God. I remember one time at school, I was so excited to get on vacation, and literally on the same evening, on the last day of school, I got sick. And like the next day, I was on a really bad flu, and it lasted for the entire holiday. I was bedridden, and it sucked ass. The kids dashed up the path leading from the harbor to the rose garden. They were probably so charged up that even walking was too boring for them. Oh, Battle was probably running because he was like, as soon as I'm off this boat, I'm gonna run away from it as far as possible and as fast as I can. You have long legs, that doesn't count. Battle was the first one to reach the rose garden, which was the goal. Apparently he was trying to make up for the dishonor he had suffered on the boat by proving his superiority on land. A short while later, Ange and Mania reached him in a dead heat. Oh, Mania! She's second! She gets a medal. I'm so proud of her. Oh my god. No! The 3-year gap between Ange and Maria was large, especially since both of them were growing kids. It was only natural that Maria was faster, but Ange seemed to be complaining about a shoulder bump at the start line. Mario Ne-chan cheated, so she gets last place. Nah, it was magic. Teacher always says you get last place if you cheat, but she was using magic. Is that a cheat? Protested Angie. Oh, I just saw that there are ads. I'm gonna wait a bit then. I get to be in the States, and since I've got the spicy brain, I often use all my sick time to have sacrificed my vacation time just to be sick. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, but okay, ad break seems to have ended. I hope everyone's back. Yes, they are fast girls. They learned from the songs. Although in that time, Sonic wasn't out yet, was it? Sonic came out in the early 90s. But you know we had Mario. And Mario can go fast if you hit the B button.
ジョージの兄貴は運動不足じゃねえの？毎朝の遅刻レースに鍛えられてりゃ誰だって足腰は強くなるもんだぜ。
What?
つまりその足の速さは朝寝坊の証ってわけだね。
Oh my god.
お兄ちゃんはお寝坊なの。
Classic.
今朝も起きなかったからエンジェが起こしたんだよ。ねえ。
How did she?
ストンピングからフライングエルボー。
Yes! Oh! Yes, that's exactly how I hoped it would have happened. Oh, Ange, you're such a spirited kid. I love her.
最後のトップロープからのボディプレスは強烈だったな。
Holy shit. Put Ange in WWE. She will wreck John Cena. The Undertaker? She's got nothing on her. She's gonna undertake him.
面白そう。マリアもやる。
Actually, imagine a John Cena and Undertaker plus Ange tag team. I think the wrestling world would be unstoppable. But they would be like the trio that is unstoppable.
お兄ちゃん、きっと明日も寝坊するよ。今度はマリアお姉ちゃんと一緒に起こすよ。
Yes! Yes! Double elbow! Let's go!
今夜は夜更かしは大概にした方が良さそうだね。
They're not gonna. Maria's gonna pull up a book. And then they're gonna be like, hey, let's create some OCs. Actually, if Ange is here, the question is then, how's her friendship with Maria? Is she gonna allow him to the is she gonna allow Ange to the marriage associate, or? Finally, the adults came into sight. The cousins waved at them, urging them to hurry up. Ange and Maria were so excited that they could hardly wait. Just by having all 5 cousins together, just by adding Ange into the group, look at how energetic this day has become. Yes! God! Can't wait for all of this to get stopped. Oh my god, not ready.
親族の皆様方がご到着いたしました。
Oh, Shannon, my beloved.
無事に着いたかね。では私は親父殿に伝えてくるとしよう。
I also must let them know that I have invested in this thing called bitcoins. Kraus would be the type.
今はゲストハウスに。
Oh god, hearing Natsuhi now hits different. Oh my god. Okay, very quick intermission before we continue. Emi Shinohara, who is Natsuhi's voice actress, unfortunately passed away this week, from what I understand. She voiced Sailor Jupiter, but also voiced Natsuhi. Yeah, unfortunately she passed away, so... rest in pieces to her.
はい。
It's very sad.
荷物を置かれましたら、こちらへ挨拶に来られる。
Because her performance is incredible as Natsuhi. Like, I already love her performance as Jupiter very, very much. Especially, I binged all of Sailor Moon with my boyfriend this year, so that hits double.
わかりました。カノンは皆さんのご案内を。シャノンは紅茶の準備を急ぐように。かしこまりました。奥様。
お父さん、クラウスです。
Also, is it me? Or am I reading too deep, or did Natsuhi's talk with Shannon and Kanon appear less hostile? Or was it just like Emi? See, this is what I mean. Emi's delivery with Natsuhi, you notice all these subtle voice differences. It's and it's not just the sprite that makes it a bit more evident, at least for me.
そろそろご準備をお願いします。
Father, you must come out. I have to announce about the investment I made. And Kinzo's like, what? After Kraus knocked on the door, it opened from the inside. Wait, just a minute.
おや、南條先生。
Wait a minute. Kinzo's confirmed dead, right? So, what's going on?
親父殿は
Is this gonna be one of those game boards in which Kinzo is alive still?
ご安心を。もう着替えておりますが。ただ少し緊張されているようですな。
In a way, I think I can kind of see this as a somewhat miracle fragment.
誰が緊張しているというのか。
Oh my god!
お気に入りの片翼のネクタイピンが見つからぬ。
Okay, this hits different in a way in which I'm like, okay, Kinzo, you're like with the worst person ever, but why are you being funny here?
だからいつも夏希に言っているのだ。
Don't you dare slander her. Don't you dare.
物の場所を動かすなと。
Okay, I kind of get this. Apparently Kinzo had been running around for some time just because he couldn't decide on a tie and a tie pin. Kinzo, who felt that the dignity of the family head must always be preserved, usually made a big deal about the head's attire being equally dignified. It's a pin, calm down.
なんとかなりそうですかの?
Nah.
もうしばらく時間をいただけますかな。
Nah.
準備ができたら下へ参りますので。
わかりました。
What an amazing episode. Kinzo hasn't done any horrible acts so far. Only if we're counting this year. This very year.
南條先生、よろしくお願いします。お父さん、そのネクタイピンでもよく似合っていますよ。
そのネクタイピンとは何か、そのとは。
This is how Kinzo should have been, and not weird.
年に一度しかない親族会議の日であるぞ。妥協など許せんぞ。あのネクタイピンでなくてはダメだ。
Okay, so definitely miracle fragment kind of thing.
どこだ？
金蔵さん、その引き出しはさっき調べたでしょう。
Look at him go!
それに素晴らしいネクタイピンをいくつもお持ちのはずだ。
Oh my god.
今日というお日柄に合わせてふさわしいものをセレクトするのもおしゃれの見せ所ですぞ。
Nope, it has to be that one.
そうであるか。
Oh my god.
片翼のわしじゃなくても良いのか。
It's gonna be like false. Fucking Kraus is like, oh my god, do we really need to do this? As Kraus watched Nanjo calm Kinzo down, he started finding it hard to believe that this doctor wasn't his own mother. Maybe, look, listen, maybe, oh god, another bot. First of all, be gone. Moon, band tiara, action, let's go, boom. Okay, well, it was always like this. He always makes a fuss when no one's looking, but when the time comes, he makes his decision with pride. I'm going to assume also that this is kind of how Kinzo acted when Bichi was still alive. Okay. After asking Nanja to come down by lunch at the latest, Kraus snuck out of the study. Okay, Goda. Your butt chin was sorely missed. Bots want to see the special Kinzo episode too? Yeah, they're like, damn, Kinzo being funny?
そして珍しいでしょ。パンプキンティーなんて初めて飲みました。ほんのり甘くて美味しいですね。
Pumpkin tea? I kind of want to try that now. As one step in preparing the tea for the guests, Goda let Shannon try a bit first. Until then, Shannon had thought it would be outrageous for a servant such as herself to drink the same thing as the family and their guests. However, according to Goda, that kind of thing was a mistake. Also, I just realized something. I forgot to set my Discord on busy, on like to not disturb. There we go. And I forgot to set the status on streaming BRB. I usually do this because just so that we don't get like the Discord notifications while I'm live. Okay, streaming BRB. There we go. I always forget something on before on stream. I was like, okay, I got everything prepared this time. I have the microphone, I have the Shoost, I have the stream deck, I have my Coco, I have the Beato Plushi from Pico Puyo, water, but not enough. I have my iPhone, my power bank is still charging. And I was like, I'm ready. Not really. I even have tissues just in case. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot one thing after all. However, according to Goda, that kind of thinking was a mistake.
お客様にお出しするものを 味も知らずに出すことはできません。例えば訪れたレストランで初めて知る料理に興味を持った時、ウェーターを呼び止めたならこう聞くでしょう。この料理はどんな味ですかと。
Goda really loves to flex on his cooking.
そうですね。
It honestly kind of a charming character trait.
そこで食べたことがないから知りませんではなんだかおかしな話ですものね。
そういうことです。給仕に携わるものならば、お客様にお出しするお茶やお料理の味については熟知していて当然なのです。
Oh my god, can you imagine you walk into now I just imagine you asking your waiter, how does this taste like, this dish? And the waiter is like, ma'am, I don't fucking know. Ask someone else. Google it.
それに自分で飲んで美味しかったお茶ならお出しする時にも自然と嬉しくなってしまうものですしね。
And then you can add like, well, if you want to find out, guess it's time to order it, right? But what if I don't like it? Well, no risk, no gain.
その通りですね。こんな美味しいお茶ならぜひ皆さんにも飲んでもらいたいって気持ちになります。
I want pumpkin tea now.
だからこそ
Oh god, what did you do, Kumasawa?
私たち使用人はあらゆるお料理の味に熟知しなければならないのです。
Oh my god, I misread food so badly. I literally just read, we servants must be very familiar with the taste of all sorts of boobs.
だから私がひょいとつまみ食いをしてしまったとしてもそれも使用人の務め。
No! And that's why sampling boobs whenever I can is part of my job description. So I won't allow Kumasawa to do sampling on my booba. I am 100% sure she would be able to find any sort of like disease. She's the type that pokes your booba and then she's like, and then she can tell if you have breast cancer or not. That kind of power.
仕事であるわけです。わかりましたか？
はい。
準備ご苦労。お茶の方は問題ないか？
ああ、源氏さんもぜひ飲んでみてください。ハロウィンらしく、今日はかぼちゃの紅茶ですよ。
Yes. Drink it.
後でもらおう。
Why?
もうじき親族の方々がお屋敷にいらっしゃられる。
Oh, come on, Genji, it's just a sip. Just a sip. Just, and then you're
お子様
done.
方もご一緒しそうな雰囲気だ。
はい。カップの用意も万全です。
Oh, Genji is that type then. He's the type of waiter I just said. Like, you ask him, how does the pumpkin tea taste like? And he's gonna be like, I don't know. Guess it's up to you to try. At that moment, the kitchen's extension line started to ring. Genji, who was standing right beside it, swiftly picked up the receiver before the second ring. Shannon and the others always thought Genji looked like a samurai when he did this.
わか
What?
った。粗相のないようにご案内を。
Genji's a weeb. Confirmed. After giving that short response, Genji set the receiver down. Although...
カノンからだ。今から親族方がこちらにおいでになる。
We do know that he's skilled with knives.
お子様方もご一緒とのことだ。シャノンとクマサーはお出迎えを。ゴーダは紅茶の準備を急ぐように。
はい。
The family conference. It was the largest event of the year for the servants. They were all excited and determined to make it through together once again this year. Oh, Goda definitely is, but I like how here everyone's excited. While normally in other fragments, I just imagine, or in previous family gatherings, when it's not all 5 cousins who are present, it's like, oh god, fuck. Oh, Kanon, have you finished scraping and mowing the yard? And he's like, oh fuck, no, I haven't. I was still busy with cleaning up the bathrooms. And then it's like, oh shit, where's Servant B? Servant B went home early. She left she left all the dishes in the guest house, and they're like, oh crap, we have to run to the guest house stat.
おお、よく来たね。道中問題はなかったかね。
兄さん、儲けてるんでしょ？
You've been doing pretty well.
そろそろ自家用ジェットを買いなさいよ。
If he had the money.
今回の機内も後ろ宮家しかおらんかったからな。
エンジェちゃん。
He's like, I invested in a. He's like, but I did invest in a plane, an NFT plane.
来られてよかったですね。体調が悪いから欠席するかもしれないと聞いて心配していたのですよ。
ご心配をおかけし
Oh,
まし
she still has the key. That's such a nice detail.
今朝になったら急に元気になりまして。
お腹痛いのどっか行っちゃった。
Oh, tummy ache.
お腹をぐるぐる時計回りにさするの。
But how fast?
お腹痛いのが治る魔法のおまじないなの。
Yes, it was
こら
magic.
マリア、少し静かにしなさい。
No. No, 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 no. It was magic. Believe me. Source,
おお、
Maria.
そっちはバトラ君かね。大きくなった。
6年ぶりですね。本当に立派になりました。
いやは、おかげさまで背ばっか伸びまして。
肝っ玉の方は相変わらずみてえだけどな。
Whoa!
相変わらずバトラ君でいてくれて
Whoa,
僕
Jessica.
は安心したけどね。
She could have also said the same thing about his dick. She could have been like, oh yeah, I can say that about his dick though, probably. Wow, Battler may be bigger, but he's still Battler.
こいつは飛行機でも船でも落ちるのなんのと相変わらず賑やかでな。
アスムさんの血でしょ。
多分あれだぜ。こいつが小さい頃、遊園地で激しめなのばっか乗せて回ったからだ。
身長制限で乗れないんじゃないの？
いやいや。ティーカップとか足こぎボートとかいろいろあるだろ。そういうのをちょいと激しめに付き合わせたのがまずかったみたいだ。
Oh yeah, he did mention this before. I just imagined Rudolph was like, all right, Battler, sit down on the cup. And it's like, we're gonna spin it, right? And he's like, yeah, watch this. And then he spins and so fast, he almost breaks the teacup. And Battler is like, I feel like I'm gonna die.
昔からそういうのやりすぎるたちだから。
Rudolph, it's either 0 or 200%, never in between.
それはかわいそうに。
The way Nazi is like, oh man, that sounds rough.
バトラ君には同情するよ。
She's thinking like, God, just thinking about it is giving me a migraine.
でも安心したわ。乗り物嫌いでこそバトラ君って感じだものね。
お兄ちゃんは乗り物が嫌いなんじゃないの。落ちるから嫌いなの。落ちる。
Maria, oh my God, she is probably the best person to have in a what's it called, montaña rusa. What's that called again in English? Oh God, roller coaster. That's it.
こら、走り回らないの。マリア、お姉ちゃんでしょ。
No, she's 9?
お手本を見せなさい。
失礼します。お茶の配膳に参りました。
Let her be a kid with Ange. It's okay. A pleasant aroma followed Shannon as she came into the room, pushing a serving cart. Even Ange and Mario had been running around in circles, sat down obediently when they heard the drinks were here.
ところで、親父はどうしてんだ？
もうじき降りてくるだろう。ネクタイ一本選ぶのに朝から大騒ぎだよ。
He picks up the service line phone and he's like, hey, Anjo? Still looking for the tie. He's like, now he's even looking for a different dress shirt.
相変わらず当主として威厳ある服装がどうのこうの？
お父さんって昔からネクタイにはやたらうるさいわよね。
And then it's like the same clothes.
こだわりがあられるのでしょう。おしゃれなのは良いことです。
その割に結局いつも同じネクタイで現れる。
What did I say? The family members burst out laughing. The scent of Golda's specially made pumpkin tea spread throughout the parlor, and the calm atmosphere grew more cheery and excited.
ママ見てパンプキンのクッキーだよ。ハロウィンだ。
あら本当ね。この甘い匂いはかぼちゃなのかしら。
Yes.
はい。
Kabocha is pumpkin, isn't it?
今日のお紅茶は珍しいパンプキンのフレーバーなんですよ。
イエーイ！
とても美味しいですから、最初はぜひストレートで召し上がってみてください。
姉さん、袖気をつけて。へえ、かぼちゃの紅茶なんてあるんだ。ゴーダさんはよくこんなのを見つけてくるよな。
美味しいね。なかなかいいよ。
He's the one that spent up like 10 days, like up until from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. looking for recipes for pumpkins.
かぼちゃの自然な甘みが感じられるね。
かぼちゃを紅茶にね。でもよ、かぼちゃと言ったら天ぷらが一番だよな。
おお、かぼちゃじゃないの、パンプキンなの。
What's the difference?
パンプキンはかぼちゃじゃないの。
Okay.
パンプキンなの。
I'm gonna have to look that up later. Maria seemed to think that the English word was more fitting for Halloween, but it looked like Ange thought kabocha and pumpkins were entirely different things. Okay, so it is the same thing. Everyone laughed, but Ange, not knowing why she was being laughed at, cocked her head to one side discontentedly. Just when it looked like she was about to get in a bad mood and start grumbling, Maria started teaching her a cookie game, and Ange immediately became engrossed with that distraction. What's that cookie game? Then, the sound of approaching footsteps drifted in from the hallway. When the relatives realized whose footsteps those must be, they straightened up. Those quick footsteps stopped for a moment just outside the parlor door. As though someone was taking a deep breath and setting up a dramatic pause. Of course, Kinzo would. Then, the door exploded open as Kinzo yelled out loud with Genji and Nanja standing behind him. Fitting sound effect.
Happy Halloween!
What?
And trick or treat!
What the fuck? Never thought I would hear this from Kinzo. What the fuck?
Trick or treat!
The sound effect! Oh my god! The cousin shouted it back. The adults returned the greeting too, looking embarrassed and refusing to meet his gaze. Ange alone stood there with her mouth open, unable to comprehend what had just happened. Oh my god. This will... if Beeche was his actual wife, I mean, like, the wife that he had all these kids with, and she was still alive, I can't imagine this is how Kinzo would have been.
ほらマリア。
おじいさま、ハッピーハロウィン。私はすごいの。驚いて驚いて。
Maria picked up a present that had been hidden behind the sofa. Come to think of it, all the relatives were now holding similar package. Stop. Oh my god. Don't do me like this. Kitty handed Ange a neatly wrapped up present.
Oh, Mania!
I'm getting such severe whiplash from this. As Kinzo took Maria's present, a smile broke out across his face, and he rubbed his cheek up against it. Oh my god! Kid's just like, sir? Your dignity? What dignity? This is how he wished the family was like. There is, I want to believe there's a miracle fragment just like this.
心得ておるぞ。源氏。
こちらを。
Genji fished through something that looked like Santa Claus's sack and pulled out a present addressed to Maria, handing it over to Kinzo.
あれ、マリア。おじいちゃんからのプレゼントであるぞ。これはの、かわいいぞ。
I can't, you guys.
マリアにあげるのが惜しいわい。
親方様、威厳。
None. Let him be a happy grandpa.
後ろ宮家当主からのマリアへのプレゼントである。これはそのかわいい。
Someone told Kinzo's VA like, hey, so can you be like the sweetest grandpa ever in episode 8? And he's like, what?
後ろ宮家の貫禄にふさわしい品であるぞ。心して受け取るがよい。
ありがとう、おじいさま。大好き。
Imagine getting kissed by Maria, like by Maria on the cheek, like as a thank you present. She's like the ideal daughter.
Oh, Maria! 我が可愛い孫よ。ちっちゃちっちゃちゃ。
What the hell is happening? Even Genji's already like, nah, I'm done. By this point, even Genji had to give up on Kinzo's dignity. What dignity, man? Still, the dignity of the family had lasted a full 10 seconds longer than usual this year. Okay, so it's a miracle fragment.
これは僕からです。
ハッピーハロウィン。これは私から。気に入ってくれるといいんだけど。
おお、ジョージにジェシカ。今年もありがとう。私は嬉しいぞ。
With tears streaming down his face, Kinzo hugged George and Jessica.
そしてバトラか。よく戻ってきたな、後ろ宮家に。寂しかったぞ、この6年。
いや、まあそのハッピーハロウィン気に入ってくれるかわからねえけど。
I mean, it's October 4th, but
良いのだ。
Doesn't matter. This is the equivalent of Christmas for the Ushiromiya family.
言いたいこともあろう、聞きたいこともあろう。だが今はそれはなしだ。
じいさん。
よく後ろ宮家に戻ってきてくれたな。私は嬉しいぞ。
Less than a month until October 4th. Yeah, less than a month until Umineko Day, isn't it? Slowly, Kinzo moved forward and hugged Batra. I'm gonna eat my microphone. Batra drew back at first, but then he understood Kinzo's feelings and hung him back. I'm gonna eat my microphone. Ange watched this scene play out, shocked. Was Ushiromiya Kinzo always this kind of a person? No.
Ange, 次はお前の番だぞ。
ほら、それをおじい様に渡して。
Yes. Ange didn't have a clue what was going on. She took the present her mother had given her and walked forward timidly. Kinzo's face, which had looked so cheery a second ago, suddenly became stern as soon as Ange stepped forward. No, it didn't become stern. That expression was the one always worn by Kinzo inside Ange's mind. This was Ushiromiya Kinzo. He was fickle, short-tempered, and always wore a stern expression on his face. This was the most terrifying person in the Ushiromiya family. What's wrong, Ange? You don't like Halloween? Yeah, you don't like Halloween, Ange. Just enjoy! See with love. It felt as though the world went suddenly quiet and I only did it when I stepped forward. Why? Why only for me? But isn't this how it should be? Isn't this those Shiromiya Kinzo I expect? Those Shiromiya Kinzo I understand? I was like a puppet carrying a tea tray. I walked forward, bewildered, with the present held out in front of me, and stopped in front of Kinzo. Without letting his expression change in the slightest, Kinzo slowly reached out and touched the present. No! Stop! You're gonna... This hurts. This entire CG is hurting me. In an instant, Ange was caught in a firm embrace, present and all. Kinzo's white beard rubbed against her cheek. Ah! Help! I need a sip from my chalky to comfort myself. Although the delivery is making it hard for me to cry. Which he has 0 of. Bruh. As the old man blew his nose, he didn't look like he could possibly be anyone other than a kindly grandpa, overcome with tears at his grandchildren's gifts. This is giving me Maze Hughes and Maze Hughes energy. He pressed a large gift box to Ange's chest. She finally realized that all of Kinzo's presents were wrapped differently and in boxes of different sizes.
Angeには何だろうな。毎年じい様が誰に何を送るか。これだけの大人数をよくやるもんだよな。
毎年自分で。
Ah, he does what every year. He picks what himself. This bizarre ceremony happens every year. The cousins were all happily chatting about what their Halloween presents would be this year. It's Christmas! Maria came up to Ange and suggested that they compare the weights of their presents, but for some reason Ange just stared blankly. After that, the adults also handed their presents to Kinzo one by one. It's the Ushiromiya version of Christmas. Receiving a gift in return, along with considerate words about their health and questions about how they've been doing recently. Then, after watching to see that all exchanges had been completed, Golda appeared and announced that lunch was ready. By the way, something that I also noticed between the women in the brief exchanges they had. No venom coming from Eva. Especially no passive aggression from Eva to Natsui. Yet. The relatives stood up, leaving their presents where they lay on tables. Sorry, I was about to say tablets. Lay on tables and sofas, and followed Kinzo out of the parlor. Only Ange remained standing there, stunned, as she clutched the present Kinzo had given her. What did he give her? So, Golda's lunches had never betrayed expectations before. Unless, when Hideyoshi said these meals were the only reason anyone ever came to these family conferences, everyone laughed and nodded. The delicious food caused conversations to erupt all over the room. You've gotten so big. How have you been lately? Pretty good. It was a fun meal, with everyone asking each other about the latest and laughing together. The Ushiromiya family sat at meals in a specific ranked seating order, so the adult siblings and the cousins and the spouses all sat in groups. So conversation sprung up naturally. Ange had withdrawn slightly from the cousins' chat and was looking around the dining hall. What are Kinzo and the adult sibling doing? Their conversation seemed to be peaceful and fun. Most of the time, the siblings were mothers or fathers of their own households. However, when they gathered together by themselves in front of Kinzo, that burden was lifted from their shoulders, and they became young and bright as though they'd gone back to being kids again. Rudolph, who was usually an easygoing father who nonetheless had a sense of dignity, became so bright and cheery in this group that it almost looked like there was another battler. Even Kinzo looked peaceful and relaxed. He didn't say a word about money or the inheritance. In fact, he didn't even insult his children or call them incompetent. He just looked like a happy old man, genuinely pleased to have his whole family together for the only time this year. The group of spouses was just as harmonious. That's just part of the group of spouses. Oh yeah, he's Kinzo's wife. The mothers kept bringing up problems with education and household matters, as well as family health issues. Hideyoshi and Nanjo happily joined in on their conversation. And what about the cousins? There was no way such an enjoyable meal with such a fun group of friends could fail to be raucous? What does that mean? What the... Raucous? Raucous? What? I have to Google what that word means. Hold on. Raucous meaning.
Raucous.
Raucous, okay. Making a constitution or a disturbingly harsh and loud noise. I see. Got it. Moments in which I remember English is not my first language. Maria was in her element, showing off her knowledge of Halloween trivia. As she should. What, are you dissing? Are you gonna diss Battler? George and Jessica would nod in understanding. Battler would say something stupid and Maria would laugh at him, as she should. Nanjo is just special. Yes, he is. Nanjo is special. Kinzo special other someone. Oh, we got an ad break, so let's wait for this for like a minute. So yeah, as I was saying, so we had the Miracle Fragment Let's episode, and yeah, I know this is a game board. So this is like the ultimate Miracle Fragment. Oh no, wait. So we have a Miracle Fragment in which that is like 1 in a billion chance of Leon being loved and existing, and maybe I can interpret this as a 1 in a billion chance of Ange being like fine. Although another interpretation could be maybe that this is the golden lamp? Question mark? But we'll see. Okay, ad community. Okay, ad break ended, so I assume everyone's back. So I'll continue. If I wanted, I could easily join in on that conversation. And if the dessert caught my attention, I could easily slip out of the conversation too. It was happiness, both fun and natural. Felt like waking up from a daydream to be greeted by the rays of the springtime sun.
天気予報によると今夜あたりからだいぶ崩れるらしいな。
台風らしいからな。こりゃ今年も一泊じゃ済まなさそうだぜ。
What?
私は一向に構わんぞ。可愛い孫の顔が何日でも見られるなら私は毎日雨乞いをしてまやいぞ。
How would this Ushiromiya family handle playing Mario Party or Uno?
よしてよ、仕事があるんだから。お父様が島を出ればいいんじゃない？そうすればもっと好きな時に孫の顔を見られるでしょうに。
確かに風情はあるが離島の暮らしはそろそろ答えるんじゃありませんか？
He's like, no.
都会はうるさい。
That That is so valid, actually.
私の家族だけしかいない静かな島が一番だ。
That is straight up valid. That's how I feel often about the city too. I don't like to live in the city as well for the same reasons.
私はここを気に入っている。
でも六軒島じゃいざという時お医者様を呼ぶのにも時間がかかるわ。
同感よ。もうお父様も年なんだからせめて新島に引っ越すべきだと思うわ。
私はもう老いた。家族だけに囲まれて静かに暮らしたい。そして私は幸せ者だ。それを実現できるこの島があるのだから。
お父さん。
しんみりさせてしまったな。諸君、これでゴーダのランチは終了だ。孫たちよ、明日からはずっと雨らしい。
So go outside and touch grass.
晴れているのは今しかない。
Yes, your final chance to touch grass. Go
バラ
outside.
をめでて、それから浜辺を散歩してはどうか。
そうですね。じゃあみんなそうさせてもらおうか。
バラをめでて浜辺を散歩する。貝殻拾いしてガラス拾いもする。
ガラス拾い？なんだそりゃ、危ないな。
Collect glass.
ガラスのかけらが波に現れて丸くなって綺麗な石になって流れ着いてるんだよ。忘れたかよバトラー。昔一緒に拾ったろ。
ああ、あれガラスのかけらだったのか。俺はてっきりそういう綺麗な石なんだと思い込んでたぜ。
エンジはガラスの石見たことある？
Are those gonna be word fragments?
ない。
Or maybe be a metaphor for them?
じゃあ行こう。マリアが教えてあげるよ。行こう行こう。でも早い者勝ちだよ。マリアが全部拾っちゃ
う。なら私も負けないぜ。誰が一番綺麗で大きなガラス石を拾えるか競争しよ
う。やれやれ。
I think you are already in the prettiest fragment.
ここは一つ童心に戻るとするかな。
At least for the siblings.
負けねえぞ。
じゃあ僕たちは浜辺へ行ってきます。
Although, considering that the miracle fragment we saw about Leon still can end in tragedy, potentially, that makes me wonder if this mayhaps is the more ideal fragment.
いとこ同士のんびりしてくるがよい。
The cousins rose from their seats and noisily left the dining hall. Maria grabbed Ange's hand and dragged her along. However, Ange's expression was vague and absent-minded, the opposite of Maria's full smile. She's feeling conflicted. Oh, Ange. I get. On one hand, I get her, but at the same time, I'm like, savor it, indulge in it. This is probably a world full of love. The cousins walked along the beach, playing in all kinds of ways. They searched for bits of glass, polished by the waves to become small and gem-like. They caught up on news of each other's lives and joked around. They wrote words in the sand. They chased the receding waves and ran away from the coming ones. The cousins enjoyed the time they had to themselves.
待て待てマリア、今度は許さねえぞ。
Yo, it's so cute. Stop! Stop! I'll die.
転ぶと怪我をするよ。
I will die.
二人とも気をつけて。
風が強くなってきたかな。そろそろ引き上げた方がいいかもしれねえぜ。
そうだね。バトラ君、マリアちゃん、そろそろおしまいにして 一度ゲストハウスに戻ろうか。
やだ、もっと遊ぶ。
こらこら、聞き分けろおい。じゃあこれでおしまいだ。ほら、俺のガラス市やるよ。
お、
おーい、本当？ありがとうバトラー。これで一番数が多いのはマリアだから優勝だね。
イエーイ。
エンジェ、大丈夫か？
They're technically cleaning up the sea. Hell yeah, let's go.
どうしたエンジェ、少し元気ないぞ。
疲れたんだよ。さあ、みんなで戻ろう。
Ange's expression probably did look tired. However, Battler alone thought he saw something else in it.
話してごらん。
なんでもない。
Yes, there is something. Speak to your brother. She said that, but something in her expression showed that she was unsatisfied for some reason. Since Ange didn't say what it was and Battler couldn't think of anything, he wasn't able to guess anymore. So he squeezed her small hand, silently letting her know that she could tell him whenever she was ready. Stop hurting me! This hurts! Even though it had seemed like such a bright sunny day a second ago, the sky turned grey and the wind started to feel more annoying than pleasant. If they waited around, they would probably see scattered raindrops as well soon.
これであとはずーっと大雨ってわけか。なんだかげんなりするぜ。
でも短い時間だったけど、童心に戻れて楽しかったよ。
Yes.
このガラス石、早くママに見せてあげるの。マリアが優勝したってママに教えるの。
俺が見つけたやつを譲ったんだけどな。
マリアがもらったからマリアのものだからマリアが優勝な。
Very correct, Maria. Good points. Ange walked distractedly, pulled along by her brother. George and the others thought that she had probably woken up too early and was tired, so they didn't try to talk to her much. As they reached the end of the forested path, the rose garden lay before them. They could see strong winds making the rose bushes wave. Maria ran forward, waving her hand about and yelling. It looked as though Rosa was waving to them from the front of the guest house.
私は一度自分の部屋に戻るぜ。そしたらすぐいとこ部屋に行くよ。
うん、わかったよ。
Maria not even getting... Oh. Thank God.
じゃあ、後ほどね。
Thank God, because Maria... Oh God. That would have been way too upsetting to see now. Jessica ran off in the direction of the mansion. George turned around as though suggesting that they had better get going too. However, when he saw Ange standing still with a crabby look on her face, he realized that something might have put her into a bad mood. Jesus. No, she's not.
悪いけど先に行っててくれねえかな。
うん、わかったよ。じゃあ、後で。
George headed for the guest house. The only ones left in the rose garden were Battler, who was waving at George, and Ange, who was still staring at the ground and holding Battler's hand. For the past few minutes, he had repeatedly asked Ange what was wrong. He realized that this wasn't anything like a stomachache or something obvious that made her grumpy. However, young girls sometimes get upset for reasons that only they can understand. Battler knew this, so he didn't rush her in any way, and continued to gaze around the beautiful rose garden, holding her hand.
お兄ちゃん。
どうした？
Don't say it.
どこ？ここ。
She asked the question as though she was talking about something on the other side of the silver screen. Though Battler understood what that question meant, he played dumb.
どこって六軒島だろ。
違うわ。
違わねえさ。
これのどこが六軒島だっていうのよ。
1986年、お前が知りたがってた六軒島だ。
嘘よ。
どうして？
You're not seeing with love.
こんなの嘘っぱちだわ。
Don't say it! No! Ange wrenched her hand from her brother's grip. That hand hit a rose and sent flower petals flying.
俺は嘘なんかつかねえ。
これのどこが真実だっていうの？
Ange spat those words out. However, Butler's expression remained calm and composed.
何が気に入らない？
後宮金蔵ってあんな人のわけないでしょ。
孫たちとしばらくぶりに再会したなら、どこのじいさんだって目尻を下げるだろうぜ。
少なくとも後宮金蔵はそういう人じゃなかったでしょ。後宮金蔵ってのは
厳格で気難しく、短気で怒りっぽい。
She's not seeing with love.
分かってるじゃない。何よあれのどこが後宮金蔵なのよ。ハロウィン？何よそれ。こんなの後宮金蔵じゃない、露見島じゃない。
エンジェは覚えてないのか？
何がよ。
こんなのはいつも恒例だったじゃねえか。
これが？
そうだよな。お前が親族会議に来たのは6歳より前なんだもんな。なら覚えてなくても無理はない。
Oh, jeez.
覚えてなくてもって。
Ange understood what her brother was trying to say. However, she couldn't accept it.
後宮金蔵は確かに厳しい人だったさ。若かった時は相当きつく息子たちに当たっていたらしい。それが半ばトラウマになって、クソ親父たちが未だじい様のことをおっかながっていることは、まあ確かに外れじゃない。
The grand tale of how Kinzo restored the Ushiromiya family was more than enough to paint him as a rigid, terrifying man. Furthermore, Kinzo was an investor. All the legend and tales that made him seem more mysterious had probably worked in his business favor. At times, Kinzo may even have acted out this part people expected, endeavoring to make his presence all the more overpowering. That's why the world at large spoke of Ushiromiya Kinzo as a strict, short-tempered man. And they even thought of him as a fickle, bold, incomprehensible eccentric.
でもそれはじい様の外の顔だ。後宮家で親類一同水入らずで過ごす時の顔じゃない。
目尻を下げて孫たちを溺愛する後宮金蔵の本当の姿だっていうの？
I'm going to say yes, especially while Beeche was alive. But maybe not to his kids, because was it stated that Kinzo was still harsh to his kids while he was with Beeche? But I do very distinctively remember that he was described as an entirely different person with Beeche. I mean, when he was with her, in her presence. But I think that maybe might not have been the case while he wasn't in the Kuadori mansion. Oh. Hold on, batteries and go power mode. Already? Jesus! Stuff like that might have happened once or twice, but that must have been a mere whim of his. My parents told me all the time, grandfather is a terrifying person, so make sure you act properly. They always said that he's very scary, so take care.
怖い人なのよ。
幼いお前は親の言いつけを過剰に聞いて鵜呑みにする。悪く言えば思い込みの激しい子だった。親父たちは行儀よくしてるようにと念を押していただけなんだ。
私見てたもん、知ってたもん。後宮金蔵は恐ろしい人だって怒鳴ってるところを見たことがあるもん。私は覚えてる。忘れない。
さっきも見た通り、じい様は唐突なお人だ。ひょっとすると何かを驚かそうとしたのかもしれない。あるいは親たちとの真剣な議論の中でつい怒鳴ってしまったこともあったかもしれない。
それを私が勝手に怯えて。
Let me just fetch the power bank for a second. Okay, power bank is plugged in. We're ready to go to continue reading. Also, I think I'm gonna do something real quick. But I'm gonna finish reading this section and then I'll go real quick on a break.
勝手にそうだと思い込んだっていうの？そんなはずないわ。そんなはずない。だって私は覚えてるもの。ちゃんと見たわ。後ろ宮金蔵が怒鳴ってる恐ろしいところ。父さんも母さんも怯えていたわ。だからわかるの。私はわかる。
幼いお前が抱いたじいさまの印象はそのまま残り、お前の成長とともに膨らんだ。
Yeah. How many times did Ange see Kinzo in her life? How old was she the last time she saw him? 5. Ange got sick easily when under pressure, couldn't have gone to Rokkenjima often. And since she was absent for the family conference when she was 6, her last memories of him must have come from when she was just 5 years old.
お兄ちゃんだって6年間後ろ宮金蔵には会ってないじゃない。
そうだな。でも6年ぶりに帰ってきて、じいさまは6年経っても全く変わってなかったって知ったぜ。
金蔵は気まぐれで何を考えてるかわからなくて不気味なオカルト趣味の鬼人で。
オカルト趣味なのは間違いない。妖精の趣味にしちゃちょいと珍しいものだったのは事実だ。その不気味な収集品で孫を怖がらせてからかう悪い趣味があったことは俺も認める。
I think kind of this the angle this is going for is basically saying that everyone in the family are not their worst vices. Like basically that their worst vices is not what makes them an entire person as a whole. Even Butler had been pranked by Kinzo in the past. He'd do things like showing off an attaché case with 7 strange stakes in it, and say something about how they were once used in the Middle Ages to gouge the hearts of victims in a witch's ceremony. When Kinzo did things like that, it was pretty scary, but looking back on it now, they were really childish pranks. Grandfather only scared his grandchildren because he wanted to joke around with them.
じいさまはきっとお前にも同じことをしてからかったと思う。幼いお前がそれに怯えてじいさまを不気味で恐ろしい人だと思い込んだとしても無理もない話だと思う。
お兄ちゃんが何を言ってるのかわからない。
Ange bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. She said she didn't understand, but in truth she understood perfectly and was refusing to accept it.
さっき客間でハロウィンのプレゼント交換があったな。
何よあれ、あんな甘ったるいこと後ろ宮家でやるわけがない。
お前はまるで覚えてないんだな。
私もかつてプレゼントをもらったことがあるというの？覚えてない。そんなのあるわけがない。
オカルト好きで西洋かぶれのじいさまがハロウィンをやらないと思うか？じいさまのハッピーハロウィンはもう親族会議の挨拶みたいなもんだったぜ。エンジェだってもらってるはずだ。幼いってのは残酷だな。じいさまが心を込めて選んだろうプレゼントもお前の心には全く残らなかった。
私が幼かったからあれが真実の10月4日だというの？
あの日も6年前と何も変わらずじいさまはハッピーハロウィンの声とともに客間にやってきたよ。そして俺との6年ぶりの再会に涙をこぼしてくれながらじいさまはエンジェが来れなかったことを残念がっていたよ。だからエンジェにぜひ渡してくれとキリエさんにプレゼントボックスを預けていた。
そんなプレゼント私は知らない。受け取ってない。
Because she never came back.
お前に届けることはできなかったな。
私は信じない。あんな後ろ宮金蔵なんて信じない。 じゃあ親族会議はどうなの？遺産分配のためのきな臭いものじゃなかったの？親族兄弟たちはみんな資金繰りに困っていた。そのために金蔵の遺産を渇望していた。
Oh.
エンジェは
Oh, there we go.
どこで知った？
Good question.
どこって、そうでしょ？それが真実でしょ？
You weren't there.
幼いエンジェに親父が自分の会社の経営が苦しいなどと相談すると思うか？親父だけじゃない。クラウスおじさんやエヴァおばさん、ローザおばさんが仮にするにしてもお前がいる前ですると思うか？
だってでも本当でしょ？
He's not wrong. In the end, it was true. Ange's words were not mistaken. Not only Rudolph, but even Klaus, Hideyoshi, and Rosa had companies in money trouble. People started talking about the Rokkenjima explosion accident as though it was some sort of conspiracy, and a mystery imagined by the public covered the island. Weekly magazines and television shows reached the circumstances of Kinzo's children at the time, and in the future, where Ange lived, that research had been made public.
お前がそれを知ったのは1986年よりも
Yeah.
後の。
でも事実でしょ？事実は真実。
Yes, there is.
だからロッケン島での親族たちは遺産をめぐってギスギスしていたってわけか？そこにエンジェの幼い頃の親族会議では粗相がないように行儀よくしているようにと親に
私の知っているロッケン島が、後ろ宮家が間違ってるっていうの？間違ってるのはお兄ちゃんよ。あんなのありえない。あるわけがない。私は認めないわ。あんな後ろ宮金蔵、断じてあんな後ろ宮金蔵を受け入れることなんてできない。
エンジェは信じないのか？
ええ、信じない。お兄ちゃんがどういうつもりでこんなものを見せているのかわからないけれど、だってこれはお兄ちゃんのゲーム、いえゲーム版じゃない。ベアトだのベルンだの何人もの魔女が私の運命を嘲笑い、そのゲームで屈服させようとしてきたわ。でも私は真実を求めている。
You've seen it though.
魔女たちのまやかしなんか通用しない。なるほどね。魔女たちめ、最後の資格にお兄ちゃんを送り込んできたってわけだわ。
そうだな。これは俺のゲームだ。だから確かにこれは俺の物語であり、だからこそもしもお前が島に来ることができたならというイフを混ぜることができる。
Yeah.
ほら、お兄ちゃんの物語じゃない。全部お兄ちゃんの嘘っぱちの作り話じゃない。
It's interesting how Ange, after episode 7, falls back to her, to how she was like in the beginning of episode 4.
そうだな。これはすべて俺の作り話だ。
But
ほら、認めたわね。認めたじゃない。やっぱりこれはお兄ちゃんの嘘なのよ。どうして嘘をつくの？どうして私に真実を教えてくれないの？
真実よりもっと大切な、どうしても伝えたいことがあるからだ。
yes, the heart.
真実より大切なこと？何それ？わけわかんない。
それを分からせるためのものが俺のゲームだ。
Just as Beato's games were made to make Batra believe in witches, Batra's game was made to show Ange something that was more important than the truth. Games never bring about their intended ends by force. After all, Beato's games could never be won for all eternity unless Batra acknowledged witches on his own. Batra's game was the same. Batra couldn't win in this game unless Ange acknowledged it herself. So Batra had advanced this game just as Beato had done it in the past. To believe it or not, to accept it or not, the decision lay solely in the hands of the opponent. And so, Patra was trying to enshroud Ange with his own illusion.
ようやく理解したわ。これは私とお兄ちゃんのゲームなのね。
Is it?
エンジェ、俺はお前とゲームをしているつもりはない。
いいえ、これはゲームだわ。私は1986年10月4日の真実が知りたいと願った。
No, Ange, don't break it!
そしてお兄ちゃんは私にそれを見せると言ってこのゲームへ招いたわ。そしておかしな幻想を見せてそれが真実だと私に信じ込ませようとしている。おあいにくね。私魔女たちとのやりとりは慣れてるの。お兄ちゃんが優しそうな顔をして私を騙そうとしてることなんて百も承知なんだから。
Oh dear, she lost all trust in everyone and has lost her ability to see with love. The big brother realized that no words of his would have any effect on his enraged little sister, so he just quietly listened to Ange's words. But even so, Ange was dissatisfied.
もうくだらない茶番は飽き飽きだわ。お兄ちゃんに真実を話す気がないと言うならもうおしまいにして、私は私の真実を自分で探す。お兄ちゃんには頼らない。そうよ、もともと頼るべき人間なんて私はいつだって一人ぼっちだったわよ。
悪いがこのゲームから降りることは許さない。
おう、
ああ、そうだったわね。ゲームマスターが負けを認めない限りゲームは永遠に終わらないんだったっけ。
Oh god, Ange, please don't do what I think you're gonna do.
そんなつもりはないさ。
Do not ruin this fragment.
黙って話を聞けってだけのことだ。
ああ、そう。なら黙ってることにするわ。プレイヤーがいなくても駒は勝手に動きゲームは進む。そうだったわよね。
そうだな。プレイヤーを離れ少し傍観者になるといい。そしてまた戻ってきたい時に戻ればいい。
そうさせてもらうわ。これはコンクラベよ。お兄ちゃんが真実をごまかすことを諦めるまでのね。真実より大切なこと？意味わかんない。そんなものあるわけがない。
あるんだよ、エンジェ。
You've seen it in episode 4, girl.
仮に俺の物語が真実でなかったとしても、お前は大切なものをこの島でなくしているんだ。
お父さん、お母さん、そしてお兄ちゃん。私がなくしたのは家族と、そして全てよ。
She spat out those words as though no further questioning would do any good, and looked away. Even as he watched this, Patra's expression remained gentle.
勝手に進めなさいよ。じゃあね、お兄ちゃん。
物語だけはちゃんと見ていろよ。聞くだけでもいい。
気が向いたらね。じゃあ。
Remember how Ange left episode 4 for a bit because she couldn't take seeing Maria describe her relationship with Rosa in a positive way because she couldn't accept it. This is basically the same idea, but now stronger than ever. So basically she's gonna relearn the same lesson, but I hope this time it sticks. Ange's eyes clouded. And remember another thing that Erika has said. Looking at the truth and being able to withstand it is a very, very difficult strength, but also a very admirable one. Ange is not capable of this, and she is not capable of looking at the truth, as we have seen in episode 7. And she, understandably so, you know, because it was like a huge shock. And now, because of that shock from episode 7, she fell back and is no longer able to see with love again. And just, okay. Then a particular strong gust of wind blew by, sending her hair flying. The wind must have been carrying some dust with it. Ange's nose twitched and she sneezed loudly.
お兄ちゃん？
なんだい？
いつまでここにいるの？なんかお天気変。ゲストハウスに帰ろうよ。
Oh, is this just peace, Ange? Ange's eyes weren't cloudy anymore. However, the tone and atmosphere about those eyes seems somehow different from before. Now, okay, now this isn't the Ange that we were with. In a matter typical of young girls, Ange signaled that she was too bored and wanted to do something. This Ange was clearly a 6-year-old Ange.
そうだね。じゃあ、エンジェはゲストハウスに戻ってるといい。お兄ちゃんはまだここにいるよ。
どうして？もうすぐ雨が降ってくるよ。
そろそろ来るはずなんだ。だから、俺は待ってるよ。
待ってるって？誰？え？
For Beato. Yeah! Yeah! My beloved! Then to Ange's eyes, it looked as though the strong winds were carrying flakes of gold along with them. No, she had definitely seen something, but she wasn't able to describe what she had seen. So to her, it seemed like flakes of gold dancing on the wind.
来たか。ずいぶん待ったぜ。
It was as though he was talking to the wind. Battler spoke to the empty rose garden. Oh my god, the music! That can't be right. After all, it was clear from his words that he was talking to someone right in front of him. So Ange thought it must have been must be someone that she alone couldn't see, and she rubbed her eyes. Then, when she opened her eyes wide, another large gust of wind blew past her. She shut her eyes immediately, and when she timidly opened them, from the other end of the rose garden, yes, from the path that led up from the harbor, a person appeared. To Ange, it looked as though she had appeared along with a cloud of gold flakes carried by the wind. Yeah! Yeah! It's the queen! Oh, it's been so long. I missed you, queen.
そうか、むしろ早いぞ。
たまにはお前も一緒に船に乗ればいいんだ。
柵に捕まってお前と一緒に叫ぶか？
いいぜ、叫ぼうぜ。落ちる落ちるってな。
なるほど、それも悪くなかった。認めよう。どうやらわらわが来るのは遅かったらしい。
The pair casually walked up to each other and hugged. Yes! It looked like a pair of friends being reunited after several years. And they said they were friends. Ange, surprised by this unfamiliar woman, looked for somewhere to hide. However, her eyes met Beato's and she was unable to escape.
Oh, そなたはエンジェか。
She was shocked to hear this unfamiliar woman suddenly use her name.
こやつも6歳の頃はなかなかに可愛かったではないか。
お兄ちゃん、この人誰？
お兄ちゃんの友人だ。
友人？それはあんまりだろうが。
お兄ちゃんの友達？
こいつはベアトリッチ。おじいちゃんから聞いたことないか。後ろ宮家に黄金を授けてくれた黄金の魔女の話を。
Haven't I heard that before? The Golden Witch. Now I remember. That was the scary witch who would snatch up and carry you off into the forest if you didn't listen to her parents or stayed up too late on Rokkenjima.
雨の夜、真っ暗な森を窓から眺めてると魔女と目が合ってさらわれてしまうかもしれないって。
ということは、わらわは夜更かしの子供を見張るため、寒い雨の中、窓を一つ一つ覗き込まねばならぬというのか。それはあまりに無体な。
確かにエンジェ、それはお前に夜更かしをさせないための親の作り話だ。彼女はそんなことはしない。
Yeah, she doesn't kidnap kids.
わらわは黄金の魔女。
God, she's so cute. I love her.
お孫さんだ。
孫？お孫さんとはなんともしまらぬ呼び名であるな。
Oh, just a killjoy.
だってそうだろ。じい様に黄金を授けて黄金の魔女と呼ばれたのはお前の。
確かにそうではあるな。
Don't say anything further.
黄金の魔女の孫か。そのキャッチコピー、もう少しマシなものにはならぬのか？
Beatrice the Third?
この人、 魔女なの？
Yes.
ああ、そうだよ。今日の親族会議に招かれたお客さんだ。
怖い魔女じゃないの？
No.
暗い森に私をさらったりしない？
No, she's not.
おのれ、ルドルフにキリエめ。一体わらわを何だと思って吹き込んだのやら。わらわはそんなことはせぬわ。後で厳重に抗議する。
She's gonna sue them. She's like, I'm gonna contact my lawyer. She looked like a fiercely emotional person, but she wasn't at all what Ange had expected the creepy golden witch to be like. She was very loud, overreacting to everything. Nothing at all like the witch Mania and Nechan had talked about, who had lived for 1,000 years and had various servants from the demon world. Which, speaking of, where are they? She looked well like an energetic young woman and the kind Ange's mom might have gotten along great with. About that, her brother and the witch talked together happily like a pair of close friends. Yes, close friends, totally. Dogs tend not to trust people they meet for the first time. However, people say that they calm down once they see that their owner is on good terms with the stranger. Surely, something similar to this was going on in Ange's heart. Oh god. Don't compare her to a dog. Come on. I know she is being difficult right now in the metal world. Ange kept staring at this pushy, temperamental woman who called herself a witch, and she chatted happily with her brother.
その鍵は?
Beato noticed the gold key hanging from Ange's neck. Ange automatically and defensively grasped it.
Angeの大切な鍵だ.
When does that decision happen? After hearing these vague words, the witch stared blankly for a second. But almost immediately she seemed to understand what he meant.
なるほど。そういうことか。
すべきことを明確にした方が分かりやすいだろうと思ってな。
安心せよ、エンジェ。そなたの大切な鍵を奪ったりなどせぬぞ。
At least no one from here.
本当に？
Yes.
もちろんであると。それはそなたの鍵であり、そなたが決めることである。バトラム、そしてわらわたちもそなたを導く道しるべの役にしか過ぎぬのだから。
When her brother gave her the key, he had said that it was very important, so she had to take good care of it. Ange didn't have a clue what the key was for, but it looked like Beato did. However, just like her brother had done earlier, Beato only spoke in riddles. This irritated Ange, but for some time being, the Golden Witch said that she didn't intend to steal the key, so Ange calmed down a little.
あなたは知っているの？
もちろんであるとも。だが、それを教えるわけにはいかぬ。
どうして？
その鍵をどう使うかは、そなたが自分で決めねばならぬからだ。
You probably will. I'm going to guess that you probably can't decide until like the climax of the story. That she needs to see this tale through first. The witch said the same thing as my brother. The pair nodded to each other, but it was all Greek to me. It felt someone had laid out a riddle that everyone knew but me, and everyone was making fun of me.
やがてわかる。無理に考える必要はない。
Ange held the key tightly. Even if she didn't understand what it meant, it was her own key, and her big brother had told her to take good care of it. With her youthful expression, she was scared that the witch might ask her to hand it over, saying that she'd teach her how to use it. Hold on, I want to check something. Okay. I feel like this portion in particular was actually is narrating from Ange's older self, the one that basically kind of detached herself from the story. With her youthful suspicion, she was scared that the witch might ask her to hand it over. Wait, sorry, I already read that. Of course, the thought showed up clearly on her face. The witch couldn't help but laugh at that honest expression.
安心せよ。そなたのその鍵は誰にも奪うことはできぬのだ。
誰にも奪えない？
そういう魔法が込められているとでも理解せよ。とにかく安心するがよい。わらわもバトラも、そして島の誰もそなたから鍵を奪うようなことはせぬ。
本当に？
ああ、本当だよ。そういう魔法がかかってるんだ。
The key was hanging around her neck like an ordinary necklace. Ange could take it off right now if she wanted, and if an adult tried to use force, it seemed like it would be easy for them to take it away. However, both her brother and the witch said that it was protected by a magic that would stop anyone from stealing it. Yes, yes it does. Even the 6-year-old Ange knew about the word magic. However, she also realized that real magic didn't exist, and that certain kinds of magic tricks were sometimes called magic. However, her brother and the witch were talking about magic itself.
ああ、魔法は存在する。
本当に？
マリアもよくわらわのことを話しているであろう。魔女はいると、魔法は存在すると、そなたによく語ったはずだぞ。
True, Maria had talked about that many times. When they were just playing, Ange had believed her more or less. However, Ange was in some ways sharp for her age, and when she heard Maria talking happily about magic, she sometimes thought that such a thing couldn't really exist. Okay.
おいおい、レアとは島に来たばかりで、まだ屋敷に挨拶にも行ってないんだぞ。
Butler spoke as though he was trying to smooth something over. When she heard that, Ange became sure that magic didn't exist after all.
魔女なんて嘘っぱち。エンジェは知ってるもん。
おい、よすんだ。レアとが気を悪くする。
よいよい。魔女に会えば誰だって同じことを問うだろう。
Just like Butler in episode 1.
このような幼子の挑発に付き合いはせぬのだが、バトラの妹であるからな。
She's like, alright, Butler, if it's your younger sister, I'm gonna cook.
特別に披露してやってもよい。
いいのか？
よいよい。では見せよう、エンジ。
Butler really said, hold on, Butler, let me cook. And he was like, are you sure? Let her cook? Though Ange had challenged the witch, now that she was about to be shown magic, she looked a bit hesitant. What's she gonna do? She gulped and stared up at the witch's face. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Ange's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers. Ange, thinking she was about to be turned into a frog, shrank back. However, after waiting a while and grinding her teeth, she realized that nothing was happening. So the part of her that had been scared began to get angry. Patience.
早とちりするでない。まだ魔法を使ってはおらぬぞ。ほれ、わらわの手のひらをよーく見るなよ。
Oh, so that's what she's doing. Now that she finally understood, Ange checked on both sides of the witch's hand.
何もないよ。
よく見ておれ。こうして握る。そして人差し指を立てる。
Oh, they even gave her a sprite like that! Yeah! She stretched out her finger and held it right in front of Ange's eyes. Ange, thinking that she'd lose the game if she took a step back, stood her ground and concentrated on the fingertip. Yes, girl, cook. The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. Just as Ange looked up to see the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner... Up, down, left, right, then left again. Ange, feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertips, swung her face this way and that, looking serious. Ever since she was very young, Ange had hated to lose. She would take even the most trivial games seriously, determined not to lose to the adults. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Ange didn't lose track of it. Then the high pointy finger was swung down all of a sudden, the index finger curled up again, and the hand was held in a simple fist. Could it be that something was going to come out of that hand? Ange, who had suspected that this might happen, had followed the finger very closely. There was no way that one's empty hand could have grabbed anything.
よいか、手を開くぞ。
The witch slowly opened her right fist, and there...
どうしてお兄ちゃん。
The witch gave the cutely wrapped candy to Ange as a present. Yes! Ange took it and desperately searched for some kind of trick on it, but it was just an everyday, ordinary candy.
どうしてレジナでしょお兄ちゃん。
Nope.
お兄ちゃん。
いや、魔法だよ。エンジェもずっと見てただろ。
Yes, she cooked and she served. Expect nothing less from my queen. Since I was watching the whole time, how did it happen? Ange didn't like it, but she wasn't able to see how that could have been anything other than magic. Since I was watching, as the little sister furrowed her brow and bit her lower lip, her brother gently told her again that it was magic. I'm interpreting this as Ange, like, getting into the story and then detaching herself again.
そろそろ屋敷へ挨拶に行く。バトラも付き合うがよい。わらは一人では窒息してしまうわ。
そうか。じゃあ、お供させてもらうかな。
Yes.
エンジェはどうする？ゲストハウスに戻ってるか？
お兄ちゃんと一緒がいい。
She still couldn't accept it. However, could it really be? She still looked grumpy, but it looked like she was getting interested in the switch.
さあ、では行こうではないか。黄金の魔女の帰還であるぞ。
黄金の魔女の孫の帰還だけどな。
そのキャッチコピー、もう少しなんとかならぬものか。
Beatrice the Third. The big brother and the witch really did seem close. They started walking. Like close friends in quotation marks. And he held onto the corner of the... Sorry. Ange held onto the corner of her brother's sleeve, trying to make sure he didn't forget about her. Okay, we finished up the scene. Still have like an hour, so I'm probably gonna read one more scene. So that we have 3 hours in. But before we continue, I'm gonna switch over to ad break real quick. So hold on. Let me just let this load up. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go on ad break real quick. I wanna adjust something here on VTube Studio. So give me like a few minutes and then I think I'll also get some more water. Here. Okay, we are back. I did some quick adjustments on VTube Studio because for some reason my mouth doesn't open too well on this model. Still kinda is like that. I wonder if it's something about VBridger or something. I think it is. So maybe where is the mouth open parameter? What if I decrease it? 0.5. Oh god, that didn't fix anything. Point 1. Put it how it was before. Yeah, that seems to be an issue that I have to check some time on VBridger, I suppose. But it's strange. It's just with this model where this happens. Okay. Worst case scenario, I'll probably... Can I maybe... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's still a bit of an issue, but seems to work out just a little bit better if I turn out the output for mouth open, that it works normally. Okay, but let's continue reading for now. Oh, Stinky, what you doing? What you doing, Stinky? Hello, it's my kitty. He's over. Ah, God, she stepped on. Whoops, she stepped on one of the toggles. There we go, and now she's trying to bite the headphone cable. Tinky, what you doing? What you doing? Tinky, what you doing? What you doing, huh? What you doing? What you doing? Hmm? Why you like that, huh? Well, time to blend in the cat then. Cat. Okay, here it is. Okay, now we can continue reading. Alright. We have enough time to, I think, read one more scene and then we can wrap up. The VIP room was filled with the sweet smell of pumpkin tea and packed with smiles and laughter. By the way, just in case, let's save. Not that the game crashes or something. Let's save. Page 3. I do want to look at the... Here's something. The Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She has surpassed the limits of humans and For ceremony. Okay, she has been called here for a ceremony involving the return of a vast amount of gold with the Ushiromiya family received from her grandmother. Rokenjima no longer has any need for the old arguments and tragedies. Oh! That's a different update. The aged head of the Ushiromiya family, even though it has been announced that he has just a few months to live, he is brimming with energy. Though he amassed a vast fortune in the past, he never made any announcements regarding the inheritance, which worries his children. He is strongly influenced by the West and is a rabid fan of the occult. His study is packed with mysterious grimoires. Mostly the same, but a much more chill version of the description. Okay, mostly the same. How about Nazi? She managed to help. She was in charge of her. Yes. Strong sense of responsibility and a great deal of pride. Neither her husband nor her siblings understand her very well, so her position is far from enviable. Right. Eventually inherit the headship of the Ushiromiya family, or technically her husband will. However, she seems to have no interest in all of this. She was born with weak bronchi and is sometimes assailed by sudden asthma attacks. He once ran a hospital in Nijima, but he turned it over to his son, enjoys his old age in peace. Now that Kinzo's constant suspicion has reached extraordinary heights, Nanja is one of the very few people he trusts. Okay, this description is still one of the older ones. Okay, maybe Battler has a different description. Let's see. Okay, when his father remarried a second wife shortly after Asuma's death, Battler rebelled and went to live with his grandfather on his mother's side. However, both of these grandparents passed away, and now he returned to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years. Whoops, sorry, Stinky! Why are you yelling? This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. I don't remember if his description was like this. Okay. Ange, though, will be interesting. Rudolph and Kirya's daughter, Battler's younger sister from a different mother. She gets sick easily, but she managed to get better just in time to attend this year's family conference. She's so happy this year, surrounded by her beloved family and relatives. Aww. No, just how it should be. This is mostly the same. This is mostly the same. Kirya, though. Okay, yeah. All mostly the same. Shannon, though. Normally calm and performs her job efficiently, but she messes up when she gets nervous. Nothing more than a pseudonym that she uses when on duty, not her real name. Okay, also mostly the same. However... Oh, it's totally, completely blacked out. Oh, interesting. Interesting. We don't get to see the meta world yet. So none of the witches. It's just this game board now. I like this little detail. How old is Kinzo?
じい様には6年ぶりに会ったけど、全然変わってねえんで驚いたもんな。
バトラめ、この6年で世辞まで学んだか。残念だがそれは節穴というものよ。しっかりかっきり追いぼれておるわ。
金蔵が100歳になってピンピンしているのに1000円かけるぞ。
ああ、俺も100歳になってもじい様は今と変わらないさ。
これ以上褒めても何も出ぬというのに。
Kinzo laughed cheerily. Beato, who sat next to Battler, was also laughing merrily. Ange stood all alone by the window, staring at the others and trying to figure out what sort of relationship the witch of the portrait and her grandfather had. There was a knock on the door. Yes. Hello, I am floating in front of this large-sized door.
お父さん。おお、バトラ君も一緒かね。
ご無沙汰しております、ベアトリーチェさん。おかわりはありませんか？
相変わらずであるわ。
Beatrice-san. Oh, this truly is the ideal fragment.
さあ、座れ座れ。エンジェも、どうしてそんな窓際にいるというのか。こっちへ来て座るがいい。
エンジェ、こっちにおいで。
ここで見てるからいい。
Ange grabs the candy she had gotten from Beato tightly, and with a gaze that was still worried, she continued to stare. Genji offered her a chair, but Ange just shook her head.
好きにさせてやりなさい。さあ、クラウスも夏日もそこに座るがいい。
Yes.
何か重要な話でも？
Yes.
俺とエンジェは席を外した方がいいから。
おいおい、そなたが帰ったら、わらわは誰に相槌を打たせればいいというのだ。
She needs her wife.
金蔵、バトラがいても構わぬであろう。
She needs her wife battler.
隠す話でもない。構わぬ。
However, he had called Kraus and Natsu to the VIP room to meet Beatrice, the Golden Witch. It was hard to imagine that Kinzo wanted to have a casual conversation. After Kinzo said he didn't mind, Beato also asked Battler to stay, so he decided to do so. In order to avoid getting in the way of their conversation, Battler stood up from the sofa and walked over to Ange's window. When the big brother finally came back to Ange, she clung to his waist as though determined not to let him go away again.
ああ、なるほど。どうしてわらわがエンジェに嫌われているわかったぞ。
どうしてだ？
She's like, ah, I see how it is.
エンジェは別にお前のことを嫌ってなんかないだろ。
Look at this oh god, I love her sprites when she's in this
そ
outfit.
れだからバトラは女心がわからぬのだ。
No, it's not like that though. Beato smiled at Ange, but the latter turned to look the other way.
女は幼くとも女であるな。
When Beato stopped laughing, the conversation switched gears. Why on earth did Kinzo summon Kraus and Natsu to the VIP room, and what was he going to talk about? Everyone fell automatically silent.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェへ滅ぶ運命にあったはずの後ろ宮家を救ってくれた大恩。
感謝せい感謝せい。
じい様が感謝してるのはお前のばあさんの方だからな。
やかましい。
いいや、同じことです。莫大な黄金を3代にもわたり後ろ宮家に貸し付けてくれました。それも無償で。
本当にいくら感謝してもしたりません。
Yes, if you didn't lend us the gold, we would have been finished.
わらわにはレンガも同じ。
Natsu looking at Kraus like, if only you didn't spend all the money.
置き場もないから金蔵が預かっててくれて助かる。
助かる。
死ぬ前に一度は言ってみたいセリフだぜ。
黄金の魔女ってお金持ちなの？
Oh yes.
そりゃそうだな。何しろ10トンもの黄金をほいっとじい様に貸し出したんだからな。
Just like that, so like, here you go.
そうだ。必ず返すと約束し、もう数十年も借りている。その恩はもはや返しきれないほどだ。
当家が感謝の気持ちを忘れたことはありませんねえ、あなた。
無論だと3代にわたりベアトリーチェさんたちが気前よく貸してくれなかったら後ろ宮家はとうに滅んでいましたと。ラツワンのお父さんとて軍資金がなければ何もできなかったのですから。
もはや金が金を呼び、黄金の軍資金は静かに眠るのみだ。クラウス、私が何を話そうとしているかわかるか？
Since the moment Kraus had been summoned here, he had guessed what Kinzo was hinting at now. All things borrowed must be returned someday. That day had finally come.
はい、わかっています、お父さん。
ベアトリーチェ、私はもう追い先はわずかだ。おそらく 今日のこれが私とお前が会うことのできる最後の親族会議になろう。
Oh dear.
何を気弱なことを。そんなことがあろうはずもない。
Beato alone laughed. She looked at Patra, so he laughed along with her, but Kinzo and the others remained silent. Apparently, there existed some major concerns about Kinzo's health.
無論来年すぐに死ぬつもりもない。しかし来年会おうと絶対の約束をすることはおそらくできぬ。私はいついかなる時でもできぬ約束をした試しは一度もない。
そのようなことを胸を張って言われると、わらわも返す言葉がないぞ。本気で言っているのか。
ベアトリーチェ、もうしっかりとけじめをつけたいのだ。私がこうして元気であるうち、だから私は今日それを決心することとした。
Oh, what you gonna do? Is it time for the riddle? For the epitaph?
何の話をしているの？
静かに。じいさまは今からとても大事な話をする。
By now, even Beato understood what Kinzo was about to propose. Beato probably realized too. At one time, the Ushiromiya family had ruled the skies like an eagle, before being crushed by the Great Kanto earthquake. The eagle had one of its wings torn off and it crawled into the mud to the point of death. Then they were saved by the Golden Witch's golden miracle. Under the Golden Witch's protection, the eagle had nursed its wounds for many years. And now, finally, it was time for the eagle to leave the nest the witch had provided.
そなたの祖母より借り受けた黄金をすべてそなたに返還する。
Oh, that's a lot of money!
クラウス、異論はないね。
Kraus is like, yes, I do?
もとより、あの黄金は後ろ宮家のものではないのだ。
無論です。何の異論もありませんと。
No way! No way he would ever. I mean, okay, in this fragment, yes, he would.
良いのか、クラウス。そなたは投資家であろう。金はいくらあっても足りぬであろうが、金蔵から黄金を譲り受けたいと思っていたのではないのか。
それを言われれば確かに否定は難しい。しかしもとより父とあなたの契約であり、そしてもともとあなたの黄金です。
主人は仮にも次期当主、お父様が一代にて当家を復興させたように、主人も一代で当家を繁栄させるでしょう。
Not so sure about that.
そしてそれは主人と私で成し遂げることです。
Okay. If Nazi is involved, then yes, I can believe it.
よくぞい。
Moon tourism? No. That's he has to do the investment choices in between those two, because Kraus is the type that is like, oh my god, I had the sickest idea ever, and it sounds like the best ever in his head, but to everyone else it's like, what the fuck are you, did you smoke?
その息であるぞ。
10トンの黄金に未練はないという。
Oh geez, another bot. That's like the third one. Come on.
やれやれ、大したものよ。
Guess I really do have to update Commander Root sometime soon.
黄金の魔法が効かぬ相手には魔女も型なしであるな。
そなたに黄金を返還する。だが黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが後ろ宮家にとって最大の恩人であることは未来永劫変わらぬぞ。
What's he gonna do? They would return the gold once the gold once lent by the Golden Witch. It was both simple and clear. However, the expression worn by the Golden Witch herself was slightly lonely. Ange couldn't understand why that was.
返すというものをいらん、やるとも言えぬしな。やれやれ。
She doesn't want it. Beato rose from the sofa. Then she walked up to the window and looked down at the rose garden waving in the wind.
クラウス、
she's gonna be like, so what if I marry Battler? Then technically the gold is is yours again from the Ushiromiya family. While he still lives, this is the ideal fragment after all.
葬式で大忙しな上に遺産はどうするのかとエヴァたちががっついてくるであろうが。今から分けておけば葬式が気楽になるというものよ。クラウス、メモを取れ。源氏も書記を頼む。これより財産の分け方を説明する。
Kinzo immediately began explaining how the inheritance would be split up. Battler, realizing that he shouldn't be listening in on this conversation, walked over to where Beata was loitering by the window.
Yo, 大金持ち。黄金が余ってるなら少しは引き取るぜ。
Oh my god! He's like, hey, what if we get married? So I can carry like half the gold for you.
黄金など薪に変えて炉にくべれば。 シチューを煮る程度の使い道はあるというものよ。
Can you set gold on fire?
どうしたよ。なんだかつまらなそうな顔してんな。
とうとうこの日が来たか。寂しいものよな。
そうか。
わらわの魔法で後宮家は蘇り、そして六軒島は生まれた。
Ah, so the witch is gonna get her magic given back to her.
その後宮家がもうわらわの黄金の力には頼らぬというわらわの魔法から巣立つということだ。
そうだな。そういうことになるな。
わらわは六軒島を魔女の島とわらわの島と呼ぶ。
そうだったな。
その六軒島が わらわに黄金を魔法を返すという。
So it can be bestowed to other people.
島が魔法から目覚める日が来たということだ。
そうだな。
最後のゲームと分かってはいたさ。しかし、こういう形ではあっても、それを切り出されると意外に応える。
お前って結構さっぱりしてそうに見えて。 未練タラタラなタイプなのな。
残忍で必要なタイプは大抵は寂しがり屋で未練がましいものよ。
そうだな。お前はそういうやつだもんな。
わらわとそなたのためのゲームだった。
楽しかったぜ。お前が6年の間に練りに練った愉快なゲームだった。
Oh no! Wait.
かつてわらわはそれを互いを苛む永遠の拷問と称した。
Oh my god, we are calling back to all the previous games.
永遠であると信じられるうちが一番幸せなのさ。
Help.
物事にはすべて終わりがある。そしてそれを自覚しなければならない。
目を背けずにな。
昇らぬ日はないように沈まぬ日もねえってことさ。
What a way to put it. Of course, Ange didn't have the slightest idea what her brother and the witch were talking about. However, even as young as she was, she could feel that the pair had spent an incredibly long time together. Oh, yeah, they did. And that they understood each other so well that they might as well be a married couple. They are. They are. Then Beato noticed her reaction.
レンジェ、わらわたちはかつて互いのためにゲームを紡いだ。しかし、それはもう終わった。
Yes.
このゲームは今、わらわたちのためでなく、そなたのために紡がれているのだ。
They were speaking in riddles again. Grasping the key that hung by her chest, Ange looked at her brother's face.
今日という日の猫箱の中身を俺たちはエンジェに届けなくちゃならない。お前に持たせたその鍵は猫箱を開くための鍵なんだよ。
Oh, it's the key to the... Okay.
猫箱って
Oh.
今日という日のことだ。
エンジがあれほどたどり着きたいと願ったお兄ちゃんは魔法の奇跡でエンジを招いた。エンジは最後の魔女として今日という日を語り継がなくちゃいけない。
それは私がここに残ってはいけないということ。
Ange's tone was slightly tense. She understood that what her brother meant, and it made her frown.
私は1986年の六軒島へたどり着きたくて、そして私はやっとたどり着いたの。なのにそれを追い出すの？
Well, you said you didn't want this, Rokenjima.
そうだな。確かにそう言った。
So this is our Ange.
そしてまるで私を甘やかすかのようなこのおかしな作られた物語もやめて。
So which one is it?
私は今日という日の真実を知りたいの。
Then you have to leave.
12年を経ても遡りても気難しい女であるな。
うるさいわね。あんたには聞いてないわよ。それにあんたこそ何よそのざまは。黄金の魔女は復活の儀式のためにやってきたんじゃないの？
Okay, so this is our Ange.
雷鳴と共に島に現れ、これから13人もの人々を生贄に捧げようとしてるんでしょ。そのあんたがなんでこんなにものんびり団らんしてるのよ。わけがわかんない。
わけがわからぬのはそなたの方であるぞ。なんだそなたはわらわにそんなにも人殺しがしてほしいのか。
あんたはそれを物語に記してメッセージボトルに封じて海に投じたわ。後の世界にはそのうちの2本が伝わってる。どちらもひどい連続殺人の物語じゃない。
You're not answering her question. Do you want her to be a murderer?
2本しか流れ着かなかったとは残念残念。一番の力作だったランドが人目に触れなかったのは残念なことだ。
Land?
前から聞きたかったんだが、あのメッセージボトルは何なんだ？
そなたとのゲームを練りながらその過程で生み出した派生の物語のようなものよ。一つのゲーム版から異なる複数の物語を無限に紡ぎ出せることに気づき面白くなってしまった。
She created a billion fragments.
いつか俺に読ませようと書き溜めてたわけか。
Yes. You just said that yourself, that they were a Tales, Ange. Yes, correct. Also, hi, Twirlin. Good evening. Happy Umineko Thursday.
あまりの力作にそなたを待つのが惜しくなってな。
Also, Beata's right. Ange isn't making much sense right now. She has been asking Beata, why are you chasing me out after I made it to Rokenjima that I wanted to be in so badly? While simultaneously being like, I don't want to see this Rokenjima, while also telling him I want to see the truth. And I'm going to think that if she wants to see the truth, she needs to get out, she has to leave. There's no other choice.
わらわもそれを瓶に封じて海に投じてみたのだ。
PlayonLoop needs to start playing games. Sorry, I forgot to say hi before. No, please don't be sorry. I'm totally fine with people lurking, especially with Umineko. Those are meant to be chill streams after all. I am happy for lurkers as well. Where was I? Okay, it's Agatha Christie. Okay, there we go. Yes, my beloved.
バカにしないで。あれはあんたの犯行計画書よ。あなたは黄金のありかをちらつかせながら親族の不和を煽り、残酷な連続殺人事件を目論むのよ。
やれやれ、1998年ではわらわはそういうことになっておるのか。
Seems like it.
はあ？
You've become the epitome of girl bossing, apparently.
何を開き直ってんのよ。私を拍子抜けさせようと目論んでるの？私は騙されないわよ、ベアトリーチェ。お兄ちゃん、私に魔女はいると屈服させたいんでしょ？その手には乗るもんですか？私はお兄ちゃんの手なんか借りなくたって 一人で真実にたどり着いてみせる。
ここがその真実であるというのにか。そなたはかつてグレーテルと名乗ったが、どうやらミチルと名乗った方がふさわしいようだぞ。
Oh, who's Mitsu? Probably a character from a novel as well.
いい加減にして。
Ange tried to slap Beato's cheek. However, the difference between their heights was so great that Beato dodged before the hand could reach her.
バカバカしい、バカバカしい。私は認めないわよ。こんな茶番が真実なんて絶対に認めないんだから。
After Ange yelled those words, her eyes grew cloudy. They cleared up almost immediately. By that time, she had already gone back to her 6-year-old self. Yep. She had come in just to yell at Beato and then left. Ange has left the chat room again.
そうだな。エンジェ、それがわらわが残した罪であり、最後の物語を用意する理由なのだ。
As Ange stared blankly, uncomprehending, Beato gently patted her head.
そうとも、この物語は茶番である。真実であろうはずもない。しかしそれでいや、そうしてでも、そなたにはどうしても伝えたいことがあるのだ。
ベアト、それはもう俺が伝えてる。それ以上は無理強いしたくない。
そうか。
兄ちゃんたちが何の話をしているのかわかんない。エンジェ、もう眠いよ。
She's sleepy!
俺たちはおいとました方が良さそうだ。
Yes, take a nap.
金蔵よ、わらわはまだここにいなければならぬのか。
おすまぬ。そなたはもう少しここにおれ。続けるぞクラウス。それでだな。福音の家への援助についてはクラウスが後宮家当主の義務としてこれを継続し。
やれやれ。すまんなバトラ。わらわは送ってやれぬようだ。源氏よ、この二人をゲストハウスまで送ってやってくれぬか。
かしこまりました。バトラ様、エンジェ様、ご案内いたします。
ありがとう。じゃあな、ベアト、後で。
うん。そなたとは語りたいことが山ほどだ。それに、今夜は水入らずで過ごしたいぞ。
おお、
たまには夫婦らしいこともせぬとな。
おお、What you gonna do?
なんだよ、夫婦らしいことって。
Damn girl! Damn! She was like, we gotta do the adult stuff. We gotta hold hands. Because Ange had gotten so bored, she had grown very sleepy. It would probably be best for her to take a quick nap. Pato walked through the windy rose garden, pulling her by the hand. When he questioned their guide, Genji, he learned that the old servant had known beforehand of Kinzo's desire to return the gold to Beato, and settled the inheritance problem early.
親方様は人生を終えるという最後の仕事の準備をお始めになったということでございます。
They gotta dance the devil's tango. Imagine she says that and then it's actually just Twister.
自分が死んだ後のことなんて人は普通考えないぜ。やっぱじいさまはスケールが一つ違うぜ。
Oh yeah, this one does.
今日は後宮家が黄金の魔女の庇護から飛び立つ新しい飛翔の日なのでございます。
確かに。かっこいい言い方だな。
Apparently, a grand Halloween party was to be held tonight, and Goda and the others had been ordered to start getting ready for it. However, it wouldn't just be a party. It would be a ceremony to mark the return of Beatrice's gold. At the start of dinner, Grandfather would make the announcement, and the 3 generations of Beatrices would be thanked for their gift to the family with a round of applause. Apparently, this was what they had planned.
親父たちにはまだそれは秘密なんすか？
一応は秘密にしております。ただ親方様のお考えは唐突に今日思いついたものではありません。もう何年も前から今日という日について考えを重ねられ、おそらく今宵の発表に驚かれる方はいないでしょう。
うちのクソ親父、どうやら会社のことで金の工面が大変そうだし、
And thus no killing will happen.
じい様からのちょいと早い遺産のプレゼントに舞い上がっちまうかな。
He's gonna be like, Rudolph, your Halloween present is money.
むしろ大きな責任に奮い立たれるでしょう。ルドルフ様は島を出られ、大成し見事な成功を収められました。しかしそれは親方様の財産によって支えられたものです。
それが唐突に遺産をドンと出され、これからはお前の力だけで頑張るのだぞとなるわけか。かえってプレッシャーがあるかもな。
ご兄弟の皆様は親方様というあまりに偉大すぎる父親に、もう偉大すぎる親はただ存在するだけで子には重しになるものなのです。
それが今夜本当の意味で一人前になって巣立つってわけだ。
親方様は今宵を黄金の返還式とお呼びになるようです。ですが最初は生前葬と呼ぼうと考えておいででした。
A living funeral.
生前の葬式じゃなんだか落ち込んじまう。新しい出発の日、巣立ちの日って方が確かに後宮家にはぴったりだぜ。
There's actually this thing that people do about before they die, that they celebrate their life one last time before they go. It's kind of something like that, I believe, here for Kinzo. She wants to sleepy! What do you mean? Let her have some peace!
もうゲストハウスに着くよ。お母さんの部屋へ行くか。
Just imagine he puts her down to sleep. And she's like, thank you, Oni-chan, good night. Then shoots her eyes open and then it's like, and another thing, by the way. Like our Ange just inserts herself into the piece Ange, like, and another thing, by the way, tell that Beato bitch that I'm gonna wreck her face in, and then she goes back to sleep.
それともいとこ部屋に？
どこでもいい。晩ご飯まで寝てる。いっぴー。
Aww, she just flop. Andrea, still holding onto her brother's hand, crouched down and looked as though she was about to fall asleep. Tok! Battler lifted her up and carried her. Ooh, as she felt the warmth and safety of her brother's back, Ange drifted off into sleep. Oh, what happened that day? Just what on earth happened on October 4th and 5th, 1986? Because of the massive size of the Rokonjima explosion accident, the time of the explosion was known almost exactly, down to the minute. That time was October 5th, 24, so midnight. The sheer improbability of that round number proved that the accident had been produced by artificial means. Later on, the following statements were collected from individuals who knew Ushiromiya Kinzo when he was alive. During his lifetime, Ushiromiya Kinzo built a clock rigged to blow up the island at exactly midnight. This clock was apparently inside his secret study. When he felt mentally cornered and wanted to think up a brilliant plan, he would activate that device and use the tension of the approaching midnight to bring some flash of inspiration to him. While Ushiromiya Kinzo still lived, this was only thought of as a tall tale about this eccentric man. But the fact that the Urokenjima explosion accident occurred at exactly midnight supported the story. But no one knows. Ange is only hearing this from outside perspectives. The ones who cook up like these very these how do I put this? These perspectives without any love, with just seeing the Ushiromiya family as this like devil family. And Ange is kind of seeing it this way right now too.
その狂気の狭間に魔法めいた力を求めたに違いありません。精神的な瞬発力とでも言えば、そう眉唾な話でもないでしょう。
Professor Otsuki spoke passionately. Witch hunters, enthusiasts who treat the mad fantasy surrounding Okejima as their plaything. Yeah, and are those the people that we want to listen to? Ange had no reason to love these people, who embellished the deaths of her family just for the fun of it. How ironic it was to Ange, who wanted to know what happened that day, that such people knew more about that island than anyone else.
その仕掛けを使えば、島を跡形なく吹き飛ばすことができる。後には何も残らない。あそこで何があったとしても、なかったことにできる。
後宮エバ氏が何がしかの陰謀の首謀者であるとする説は早くから囁かれてきました。しかしあれだけの大爆発をいかにして起こしたのかが説明できずにいました。
Eva took the cat box with her to the grave.
その仕掛け時計により、それが可能であったことが証明された。
Byrne has said as much.
さようです。後宮エバ氏は24時に爆発すること、そしてその爆発半径について十分に理解した上でクワドリアンに避難していたと考えられます。
財産を独り占めにするためにみんなを殺して爆発によってその痕跡を消した。
That is the theory that we got from episode 3. But that's also not the truth.
そう考えると六軒島のミステリーは最も筋が通ります。エバ氏があの日あの島で何があったのか語ろうとしないことにも合点がいくわけです。
Where was that Rick clock and how did Eva find it? Several forgeries have speculated on this matter. There's no need for me to waste time thinking about it. Eva activated the clock device, hidden Kuwadorian to escape the blast, and was therefore the only one to survive. That was everything, the answer which eloquently told the whole story. When Eva first adopted me, our relationship wasn't that bad at all. I asked her several times what happened that day. Every single time she answered, it was to say that she didn't remember. But, well, she must have been flustered at the time. The very first time I asked, she answered like this. I can't tell you about it. It was a slip of the tongue. Yeah, like Eva didn't want to tell you that her mom said some very horrible things about you. Be it if she was in a daze or not, that's not something that Ange needs to hear at that age. She knew what had happened that day, and she left this world without telling even a bit of the truth. She sealed the truth in a cat box and left this world taking the key with her. There can only be one answer. She was behind everything. She got to keep all of the family wealth to herself and became super rich. And afterwards she lamented the fact that her beloved son would never inherit any of what she had created, and she cursed me. Just remembering that old bitch makes me want to vomit. What happened that day? That's what I want to know. It's my only goal, the only reason I'm still alive. And yeah, okay, so this kind of confirms to me that this is not the Ange from episode 4. However, later on I had to come to grips with the fact that my goal was an abstract one. Either that or she regressed extremely hard. After all, though I don't know what happened that day, if it's a question of who did the crime, that's already clear. Ushiromiya Eva, she's the culprit. That has never changed since the beginning. That's right. I'm not trying to find out what happened that day. I'm trying to find out what Ushiromiya Eva did that day. If I can reveal that, then I can expose Eva's evil, even though she's already dead. That is my true goal. Well, is it? The police also suspected that the accident might be a crime, and they did investigate. However, no matter how much they inspected the crater that had once been Rokkenjima, they didn't find anything at all. The public and the witch hunters cornered Eva with several bits of circumstantial evidence, but not a single bit of physical evidence was found. Though Eva was the only merest fraction of a shade away from guilt, they were unable to expose her crime. My goal isn't anything as vague as learning what happened that day. It's to expose the crime Ushiromiya Eva committed that day and to have my revenge. I haven't been able to expose Ushiromiya Eva's crime, so people are acting as though the events on the island were all done by some bizarre gold witch. Defeating the Golden Witch means exposing Ushiromiya Eva's sin. I won't forgive Ushiromiya Eva. I'll certainly hate her and take revenge for my family. That is Ushiromiya Ange's one and only reason for living. It isn't. Whoa! Whoa! Amakusa! What the fuck? What the hell? Another mood whiplash. Ange having like the deepest, most brooding, emo, violent thoughts, and then Amakusa coming in with the saxophone like fucking he's a gift. We love him. You don't like M. Zaki? I love it. That's him asking it to Ange while he's like blasting the saxophone into her ears. No.
つまりお嬢の旅は家族のための復讐の旅ってわけだ。悪い？まさか生きる目的があるの大いに結構ですぜ。それ切ってくれる？おや、エムザッキーはお嫌いで
Okay, I didn't know that you were actually referencing this. No! Put it back! Put it back! Put it back! No! No! Put it back! Put M. Zaki back! No! Amakusa turned the radio off. The dull sound of the engine became the BGM that filled the car. Is it really so... Depends. Certainly would be fun if she had managed to find evidence that her parents had planned to kill everyone and see what she does with that information then. Ange, I love you, but God, do I want to strangle you too? See, I need to someday figure out what is Ange in episode 4, 7, and now 8. I'm like, are these all different Anges? Because in episode 4, she did kind of learn the lesson that Battler is trying to show her here, like seeing with love. But also, like, he's also teaching her a very valuable lesson, like, all that she knows about the Ushiromiya family is what she hears around her. And remember how I already said this early in the stream, but when she was reading Maria's diary, how she dismissed everything that Maria was writing positively about Rosa, and like, no, but she's actually a horrible person and doesn't love you and that's fake and whatnot, but that's not entirely the truth. Basically what I'm saying is she's seeing a very black and white vision and with zero love. And she's seeing like all the Ushiromiyas, especially Eva, as like all these evil, bad people, except for her parents. And her brother. No.
そりゃ強いですぜ。家族の仇を取るために体に爆弾を巻きつけて自爆するやつだっている。人は仇討ちのために死ねる生き物ですぜ。
True.
そうね。私も死ねるわ。
少年兵ってやつをご存知で？
子供の兵隊？
そうです。親を亡くした身寄りのない子供たちが武装勢力に拾われて兵士になるんです。パンと銃を与えられ、復讐の方法を教えられる。
So, you?
所詮は子供、使い捨てですがね。引き金さえ引けりゃ、戦場じゃ誰だって兵士になれる。
私がそれだって言いたいの？
復讐は 生きる目的になります。そして兵士になれるほどの力も与えます。親の亡骸にすがって泣くことしかできなかった少女が一夜にして兵士に生まれ変われるほどの奇跡を見せて、復讐ってやつほどパワーを与えてくれるものはありませんぜ。
Like none of that info is secret about her parents. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember if she actually talks about it, but I don't think she does.
そうでしょうね。
And we did see in episode 7 on the tea party that when she does get shown how her parents were like and what they did, she fell apart immediately. Of course, I mean, it's her parents, right?
それがまさに私だわ。
That would ruin anyone. That was a very heartbreaking scene, by the way.
少年兵問題ってのをご存知で？
Yes.
知らないわ。
銃を与えられ復讐の仕方を習った少年兵はそれを生きる目的とします。いや、少し違う。それを銃を撃つ理由にします。しかし復讐ってのは終わりがない。いつしか銃を撃つのに理由がなくなってくるんです。
どういう意味？
復讐のために銃を撃っていた。それがやがて理由もなく銃を撃つようになるんです。
Is it like the moral of the story for a lot of revenge stories that eventually, well, either you gain nothing from revenge or, yeah, you gain nothing from revenge and you don't feel fulfilled by it completely. You still feel like broken and a void. Or you end up like just continuing to take revenge essentially and just keep doing the same thing, but to others, to innocent people, basically.
復讐を忘れてしまうということ？
できもしない復讐にやがて疲れ果て、その目的を忘れちまうんです。
Some revenge does feel good though, depending on what it is.
やがて飯を食うために銃を撃つ。
But usually it's not a good thing. That's usually what the most of the stories tend to
復讐の
tell.
ために銃を取った少年兵はやがて野党か何かになり果てるってこと？
No, serial killers.
何しろ学校にも通わず職も学ばせてもらわなかった連中です。
They only learned how to shoot guns, and they were only ever praised when they killed the enemy.
やがて自分の生きる目的は復讐のためでなく、その手段のためだけになり果てていく。気の毒なことです。
私もやがては復讐に疲れ果てて、私の場合だと何だってのよ。
真実を暴くことに疲れ果て、お嬢はやがて後ろ宮エヴァを憎むだけの人生になり果てていく。
Oh, he's not wrong.
すでにそうだけど、何か。
そういえばそうでしたっけ。
I'm not sure what Amakusa is trying to say. Probably something annoying, so I'm not interested.
復讐なんてくだらないことだ。そう言いたいんでしょ？
お嬢の人生はまだまだ長い。何だってできる若さがある。その貴重な若さを費やすにはちょいとこの旅はもったいねえんじゃねえかなと思いましてね。
Oh, I hear very faint car sounds outside. That's nice.
お世話よ。私ね、ほら、飛び降りたでしょ？ビルから。
せっかく九死に一生を得たってのに。
あの時ね、私は死んだのよ。だから私はもう亡霊ってわけ。家族の仇を討つためにあの日の真実を暴くことだけを目的としたね。
やれやれ、お嬢は大した鉄の意志をお持ちだ。
あんたみたいな軽薄な男に私の気持ちなんてわからないわよ。
After that, Amakusa was forced to shut his mouth. He shrugged, but Ange didn't see. Even so, Amakusa spoke once more.
お嬢とこの旅を始めた一番最初の日、お嬢は言いました。あの日、あの島で何があったか知りたいと。
今だってそうよ。何か変わった？
今はこう言ってます。後宮エヴァの罪を暴くため、
Yep, you fell towards like doing this all as an act of hatred towards Eva. No, it's not.
私眠いからもう寝るわ。少し黙っててくれる？着いたら教えて。
了解です。
I wasn't particularly tired, really. I just said that because I didn't like talking about this.
ならないでくださいよ、少年兵には。
Ange, who had decided to feign sleep, ignored him. But Amakusa kept talking. He wanted to make sure she heard at least this much.
お嬢の旅は最初、真実を知る旅でした。それがだんだん復讐の旅になっている。真実を暴くことで復讐する旅だ。しかしお嬢も分かってる通り、六軒島にはもう何も残ってやしません。何の跡形も残ってやしない。真実を暴くことは並大抵のことじゃないかもしれません。
Oh, and it is not. I know what Amakusa's trying to say. The police searched the scene so thoroughly that just after the crime, and even they weren't able to find any physical evidence proving that Ushiromiya Eva was the culprit. And a full 12 years have passed since then. If the truth could be discovered by a girl like me, waving wads of cash around to pick up a bit of info from those who were somehow related to the incident, then someone would have exposed the truth long ago. I might not be able to reach the truth. If so, then my desire to expose the truth will probably fade away. After that, only my hatred for Eva will remain. Just like those child soldiers who forget their original purpose and live just to shoot. I'll forget my original purpose and live just to hate. I'll do nothing but despise Ushiromiya Eva, but my goal, exposing the truth for revenge, will be gone, so hating Ushiromiya Eva will become my whole life. Is there any difference between shooting for revenge and shooting to live? When you pull the trigger, someone dies either way. And what about my case? Is there any difference between hating Eva as I expose the truth and hating Eva after I've given up? There's no difference. In the end, whether I find the truth or not, I'll just keep on cursing Eva over and over until I die. What a crappy life. But now that's all I have left. Ushiromiya Eva stole my family, so I'll take revenge by exposing her crimes and showing the world. My consciousness was slowly drifting away into sleep. Why is Oni-chan showing me such a bizarre Rokenjima? Is this supposed to be the truth? Enough with this farce. Why is even Oni-chan trying to hide the truth from me? I'm trying to find it so that I can avenge him and the others. Or would Oni-chan say the same thing as Amakusa? That revenge is meaningless, so I should stop? Is that why he's speaking in riddles, trying to make everything more confusing? That's none of his business. I'm not just trying to take revenge for their sakes. I'm doing it for my sake too. After all, that's the only reason I'm still alive. Taking revenge is my reason to live. I don't have a clue what Oni-chan is thinking. Perfect timing. Now we can wrap up the stream for today. Okay, then let's save. God, my heart hurts. My heart hurts so bad. I'm in so much pain. Oh, this episode is gonna wreck my shit, isn't it? Okay, go back. System. And title. Oh wait, actually let me see something. Nope, still empty. Nice. Then, okay, title back. Happy Halloween, thanks for the stream. Yes, thank you as well for coming. Hold on, let me switch over to the chatting screen. Okay, here we are. Let me just close the game. Pull this over. Ah, okay. Oh, this was a good return to Umineko. I'm glad I managed to not actually start crying, but I can't guarantee that for the next streams. Oh, had to take a sip of water. Gosh, I'm very curious the direction that this episode will be taking, but from what I can say, can understand, and what I've already repeated on stream, it's gonna be like the ultimate magic versus no love and tricks. So let me see when I can continue reading for Umineko. I thought about October making all Thursday streams Umineko related, maybe, but I had also thought about potentially playing, well, I want to finish up Needy Streamer Overload, which will be next week on Thursday. I think on the 26th of September I'll continue reading Umineko. I should technically be having another DBSC stream, especially after Ultimate Fighting Arena, which will be this weekend. But I do want to do Umineko every second week, so I think that's what I'll do. So probably next Umineko stream on the 26th. Next week will be Needy Streamer Overload. Regardless if I get more all the endings or not, it will be the last stream because I want to wrap it up. But there's some games that I've been thinking about to play next for October, given that it's Spoopy month, or at least start playing in Spoopy month, but I can't guarantee that I'll finish it up. So after Needy Streamer Overload, I had considered starting Fields of Mystery in general. I mean, actually, it was meant to be switched out with Umineko, but I wanted to start reading Umineko now. So anyway, I thought about putting Fields of Mystery in the list, but for horror for October, I was thinking of playing Fear and Hunger. So originally I wanted to play the first Fear and Hunger, but there's an issue. It seems like Fear and Hunger, at least the first one, is not available as a streaming category anymore on Twitch, so I assume that the game is banned on Twitch. The second one, however, Fear and Hunger Termina, is not banned yet. So, and I do hear some people say that Fear and Hunger Termina is better for beginners of the Fear and Hunger series. Okay, I've watched like a shit ton of videos about it, so I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but I've seen quite a bit. But it's always a different experience when you play it yourself, right? So can't say that I'll be going in entirely blind, but I do know there's an RNG factor in the way how the maps are made, I think. Although I think in Termina the map is pretty much the same. That said, I need to see if the game is still available on Twitch. It seems that it's still a category there. Let me see. Fear and Hunger. Yeah, Termina is still a category that exists. I'm seeing some people stream the first game in this category, but I don't think I want to take the risk. So it'll probably be Fear and Hunger too. The other game that I could potentially play for Halloween, but I'm a bit more skeptical about that one, is Corpse Party. Because I'm skeptical about Corpse Party because of some of the fan service elements that are there. But it's not banned on Twitch, right? So technically I could stream it, but I'm not sure. So I'll think about it. I've seen it someone stream without the censor mod on the second games category, but yeah, not worth risking it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't risk playing the... If the first one is not available as a category, I just flat out won't do it because, you know, banned is banned. It is what it is. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah, like I said, Fear and Hunger 2, you can start with that game too. And like I said, I have seen a bunch of videos about it, about both games, so I am a bit versed with the lore and story enough to go into Termina. As for Corpse Party, like I said, I'm interested in playing it, but I'm a bit hesitant because of the, like I said, the fan service elements that, like, so strange. It's not banned on Twitch, even though it has some weird stuff in it, but well, Fear and Hunger 1 without the censor mode, yeah, obviously it's not safe. But yeah, I'll think about it. I'm more leaning towards Fear and Hunger Termina than Corpse Party, but you know, it can still swerve. So we'll see. Other than that, for Retro Tuesday, a retro Halloween game, I'll have to think what I can do. I mean, Shaman King technically fits because it's like spirits and whatnot, right? But it's possible that I'll finish Master of Spirits pretty early in October, but we'll see. Okay, but other than that, let me just start wrapping up the stream for now. Let me see if there's anyone we can raid. This is episode 6. We got... Who's online right now? From the people that I'm following. No one really fitting. Okay. I think I'll do... Oh god. An ad break came on just as I was wrapping up. Okay, I think I'll just wrap up just like that. I really need to like ask people on Twitter or on Discord or something if there's like more people that I can be mutes with so that I can like, or at least follow so that I can raid, because there's not enough people. Anyway, okay, then I'll just wrap up just like that. No raids or whatever. So have a good night, everybody. I'll catch you guys next Tuesday with more Shaman King Master of Spirits, and next Thursday with the last Needy Streamer Overload stream. Have a good night. Thank you for coming, and bye-bye!